We be live!
We be live!
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
We're going to be answering Patron questions, but we also be going to discussing some interesting things that Harris has found, like every week. Yes,
every week. I've got a few things. Let's hope we have enough time because you always run out on me. 2 hours and then you say run.
Okay. Well, I'll try to go through the Patron questions fast to make sure that you get to share all the things that you have. Okay.
Yes.
Darka is like, oh my God, that scared me. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Hello from Lebanon. Hi, Lebanon. How are things there? I know things are not very good in Lebanon. I'm so sorry.
Why? Because of the economy? The economy?
Yes. And it's partly, it's a lot of it is because of Iran's fault. Like it's the bankers' fault, the politicians' fault, but also Iranian government, not Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran. So the government. So sorry about that. On behalf of Iran, I speak on behalf of Iran, and I apologize for everything.
Since when did you start talking collectively?
That's a joke. I don't.
It's important to mention that because some people might misunderstand that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Look at this. It's getting worse. I'm sorry.
All right. Should we start?
Oh. Yes, somebody's saying give link to StreamYard. I will, but only to Secular Jihadists YouTube members. So if you want to see that link, you have to become a YouTube member on Secular Jihadists. So there you go.
Clever.
So it's exclusive. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start juicy and then going to get more political and stuff like that. Here's the first one. Is BDSM halal? First picture question.
That's actually a good one. I think I was going to share this video, and then I saw that you've already commented on that with reference to Ali Dawa has commented on that. There was this woman. I know this is not BDSM, but that is very, very unusual coming from a hijabi. Should we play that video and talk about it a little bit? What do you reckon?
Sure. But before we do that, I want to answer this question. I don't see anything in Islam that is against BDSM. I think
you're right. I mean, there's a Quranic verse that says that no matter where you come, you can enter your wives or you can attack your wives from whichever angle you want.
But what about the other way? What if the husband wants to be a sub and the wife wants to be a dom? Do you think that's allowed in Islam? Like, can a wife tie up her husband and torture him? Is that halal?
I don't know. We have to ask a mufti.
I mean, I don't see anything Islamic that is against that. So I mean, if it doesn't mention it, I think like.
I mean, I know there's a okay. So this is funny. Now I have to show this. I know there's a prayer before sex. You know that one. There's a prayer before sex. Let me.
Is it a prayer or just a recitation of a verse or something?
It's a recitation of a verse, but apparently it's kind of like a prayer. The Prophet said, "If any of you, when intending to have a sexual intercourse with his wife," and Nuria made this point very well, and I had never thought about it that way. The Quran and the Hadith, everything is actually addressing. To like by default, whatever is said, you have to assume that a man is being addressed. You know, like it just shows you another element of that is man-made. You know, like when Allah or the Prophet is addressing to women, he specifically mentions, "Hey, women." But anyway, so this one, you know, like where is the hadith? Where is the verse? Where's the advice to women? No, there isn't. It's like if any one of you, when intending to have sexual intercourse with his wife, say Bismillah, Allahumma janib ash-shaitan wa janib ash-shaitan ma razaqtana. And if the couple are destined to have a child out of that very sexual relation, then Satan will never be able to harm that child. Now, you reckon that's a turn on, Armin? If you were a Muslim, would you have done that? Sorry, baby. Before you take off your clothes, let me say, Bismillah, Allahumma janaba. She'd be like, geez, such a turn off.
I don't know. Somebody might be into that. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, as you know,
you might be training her to be into that. Every time you mention that, she just gets wet because of expectations of what's coming after.
Like, yeah, I'm about to get some action. How about so I don't know the answer to that, but I really want to play this funny video. Have a listen to this one. What is this woman saying?
You know, every morning when I wake up, before my husband leaves the house, I get on my knees and I suck some love into that man. Because I know when he goes out there, there's going to be temptations and negativity. I want him to start the day on a good note. And the days that he's not with me and he's with his other wife, I know he's taken care of. So
I mean, I just want to, you know, like it was fine up until that point, you know, but then just imagine the internalized misogyny here that she's saying that when he goes to his other wife, that's fine. I know he's being taken care of. You know, like she just come to terms with it. Again, each to their own. But I mean, like in our liberal world,
I don't see any problem with what she's saying.
No, because it's not built. No, it's not built on equality. I mean, because she can't think. If it, I was just about to say that in our liberal world, it's okay if a couple has agreed to have a second woman or a third woman or a fourth woman or a fifth woman. The only difference in our case, there's no limit. you can have whoever you want, but it should not be built on coercion. It should be built on equality and respect and reciprocity. So there is no reciprocity. So I mean, her husband doesn't think that way. That when I'm going to my other wife, my first wife is also going to her other husband, and she's going to be sucking some love into it. So anyway, but listen to this.
So if you want to learn how to take care of your man, go get my book, How to Have Fun Like a Pro.
Oh, like a pro. I'm just going to ignore that word pro. It doesn't mean Andrew Tate's kind of pro.
I have a few, there's two comments here that I know these people didn't mean it like that, but I still have a problem with it. So Soha is saying Islam is BDSM only for men. I don't like I don't like this. I know Soha doesn't mean it like that, but guys, BDSM is not abuse, okay? BDSM is two people having fun. So no, Islam is not BDSM because Islam is abuse and BDSM is both people enjoying it. And you're not abusing people in a BDSM relationship. Everybody is enjoying it, right? So, and also Andrew is saying if you're into abusive relationships, Islam is fine with that. Again, this is within the context of us discussing BDSM. I think like I'm trying to defend. This is less about Islam and me defending BDSM. Okay, BDSM and abusive relationship. Yes, exactly. BDSM is not abuse. Islam is about it. Good, thank you. BDSM is not about abusing people. Okay, everybody is supposed to have fun in a BDSM relationship. Okay, thank you.
That's what he meant.
Yes, good.
Some people like pain. Some people like to be whipped. Some people like to, you know, try to. All right, I don't know. I'm so boring.
You're boring? Okay.
I don't know. As I get older, people say that people acquire these different tastes as they get older. So, you know, I'm going to be 40 later this year at the end of this year. Who knows? Who knows which way fate takes me?
Yeah, we'll see. Wait, let me see.
We're the same age. You're the same age as me. Down to the same day.
That's the same hour almost, actually.
Almost,
people don't. Guys, do you guys know that me and Harris were born within hours from each other? Hours.
Two shaitans.
Yes.
Two shaitans are born. That means our parents probably did not recite this prayer. I gotta ask my parents. Okay.
All right, look at this. I don't know. Okay, I don't know much about this, but it is a Patron question, so I'm just going to quickly address it. The Patron question. This is by D, saying a Nigerian friend told me that. Wait, let me scroll up a little bit. Here. A Nigerian friend told me that the change of currency was implemented to halt bribes before elections. But okay, so in Nigeria there was a new currency that they did that so that they could stop bribes before the elections. But now it has driven the country into chaos. I am told people are sleeping in lines at the bank and digital currency markets have crashed. Your thoughts? Sounds like a craze for crypto. I don't know. I don't know. This is why people think. This is why some people make. They feel like you can't trust. I know people in more stable countries don't understand why less stable countries people are like the appeal for crypto in less stable countries, because you have no idea that all the money you're holding what's going to happen to it tomorrow, right? So you're like, oh, I like look at what's happening in Lebanon or what happened in Venezuela or in Nigeria, right? You're like you have a lot of money, and all of a sudden tomorrow it could be like, oh, what if I either don't have access to it, or now I have for a while I have to go get new money, or it could be just worth nothing. Like in Iran, for example, the inflations are insane. So yeah, I don't know much about what's happening in Nigeria, but this is just another example.
I never. So you tell me, because I'm going to talk about finish your thought on this Nigeria, and then I'm going to ask you a few more questions. Because
no, I think it's just I mean, without looking too much into it, it's just like fiat currency being so unreliable in so many countries shows why so many people in less stable countries are so eager to jump on the cryptocurrency bandwagon. I'm not saying they should be. I'm not saying they should not. But I'm just saying that I understand the appeal. Yeah.
So hang on. So this doesn't say that Nigeria is going to use cryptocurrency as its.
No, I didn't say that. No, this doesn't say that. I'm just saying this is one of the million other cases that shows to me. I'm just like going on a tangent, like how fiat is unpredictable, especially fiat currency is unpredictable, especially in unstable countries. I'm just like coming up with my thoughts on it about
wouldn't it be more difficult for these, because first and foremost these countries are corrupt. There's a lot of corruption in those countries. It's mismanagement, officials mismanaging funds, bribing, and all that kind of stuff. How would and I know you're just thinking out loud, but how would removing fiat currency and replacing that with crypto would make it better? I'm just trying to think, because I've got no idea. I've never thought about it.
Well, I mean, specifically not all crypto, specifically Bitcoin. Everything about it is known. There's no centralized authority that could come one day and pull a lever and change things, right? So you don't have to stay up, wake at night thinking like, oh my God, what is my government going to do tomorrow, right? Because there's no centralized authority that can change anything about it. Everything about it is known, everything about it is transparent, and everything about it is unchangeable.
But right? But wouldn't governments want more control, at least about?
Yeah, but you don't need the permission of governments. This is basically people taking the power away from governments.
Oh, you're saying that people doing it on their own. So, for example, if I live here, I don't believe in fiat currency anymore. Kind of like what Andrew Tate was doing. Like he had his own crypto wallet, and apparently they're trying to trace it. And that's it. Like it makes it much more difficult for them to trace his money, rather than even though people have been burying money into the Swiss accounts.
It could be easier depending on what cryptocurrency you're using. Are you using Bitcoin? If you're using Bitcoin, it's actually easy to trace it. If you're using Monero, it makes it difficult to trace it.
But right? But also, don't we have this fear now after this crash of 2022 that I could wake up the next day with my cryptocurrency being worth nothing? Isn't that more likely now? And has the faith not eradicated over cryptocurrency?
So cryptocurrency, yeah. So first of all, we're not there yet for us to be relying. This is for us to make making a case for an eventual world where you have a stable cryptocurrency, right? But also the crash that you see in cryptocurrency, especially, is that there's a fundamental value of cryptocurrency, right? And there's a speculation price, right? So the fundamental value of like something like Bitcoin is based on its use case, but the speculation is people adding a lot of faith and hope into this being a lot worth. For example, let's say based on the use case of a cryptocurrency, let's say it's worth like now 10 units, right? $10, right? But people speculate, and now they're buying it at 100 or 90 or 110. So they are buying it. They're buying and selling it at a price that is much above its fundamental value. But just because it drops back to 10, for example, or 20 or 9, that doesn't mean that the worth wasn't always 10. Like the fundamental value was 9, 10, it's going up to 11, but that is based on speculation. The price that people are trading it might be 100, 110, 120. Like that's unreasonable. It has to come back to where the fundamental value is, but the fundamental value actually does represent its use case, its utility. That is there. That should be there. So it's the problem with the speculators that make it make the valuation, make the price so volatile. And eventually, when something, and maybe eventually, when an asset has a long-term history and its use case is known and it crashes multiple times, then the price will become more stable and it will hover around the fundamental value that it actually has.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is because the market share is so small. What's this noise? Because the market, because the market share is too small, that's why we don't know what exactly its worth should be.
Well, because it's a new asset and people are too excited, and it's just kind of like for example, like the internet, right? So when the internet was first introduced, people were so excited about its use case that the prices of tech companies exploded to prices that was way above its actual use case at the time. So then we had the .com bubble, and that market crashed, and it came back. But that didn't mean that the tech industry, like, eventually it caught up. Like, the internet did became as revolutionary as people thought it would, but people were too excited originally, and the price bumped too fast, too soon for that. So it crashed, and people are like, oh, maybe the internet was just a FUD. It was not as exciting as we thought it would. But eventually it did become that exciting thing that people were hoping for, but people were being excited about it too soon. That's why we had the .com bubble.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Let's move on.
Okay. This is
a couple of questions that are, I think, similar to what we were going to talk about, or we might have just already spoken about. It just makes it easier for me to, when I edit it and put it all together. Is this one. Armin's recent video gave me some food for thought. Can Muslims be sex positive and halal? And obviously he's talking about this video that I just played before. Is he? Am I right?
Yes.
About that? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I spoke to a mufti, and he once told me that, hey, Haris, I don't know why, you see Islam as such a sexually repressive, regressive religion. He said, back in the days of the Prophet, there was so much sex. People were divorcing each other. People were marrying each other. There were so many concubines and, like all of that. But then I said, well, hang on. It is actually from a man's point of view. Yes. I mean, we even from a man's point of view in the contemporary world, we still see that it's not actually that sex positive. I mean, for example, in countries like, let's just say, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Pakistani community, and pretty much at large, the whole of Muslim world, sex is taboo. Sex, people don't like to talk about it. And the more sexually, I guess the term is negative, or the more sexually repressive you are, the more honorable and the more pious man you're considered to be. So, but when we look at the life of the Prophet himself, man, the guy had 11 wives. The guy was so much into women that I actually just the other day, someone actually showed me this Quranic verse that even Allah told Muhammad, hey, Muhammad, stop. That's it. Just stop. No more marriages. Okay. No matter how sexy a woman is. It's in the Quran. Let me find that verse for you. No more marriage. That's it. Okay. So have a look at this Quranic verse. Isn't that amazing? I mean, if we can learn one thing from the Prophet's life, it's that he was a very sex positive person. Look at this. Quran chapter 33, verse 52. It says, no women are lawful for you after this. Now, no more. That's it. It's done. We're done. Prophet Muhammad, stop it. You've already had 11 wives and God knows how many concubines. Just stop now. So he says, no women are lawful for you after this, nor is it lawful that you replace them. Meaning, you divorce them and get a new one. As some rich Muslims do that, because you're only allowed to have 4 wives. So they do a cycle and they never divorced the first one, but they divorced the second one, and then they married another one, and then they divorced the third one, and then they marry another one. So anyway, so Muhammad was Allah was one step ahead of Muhammad. He said, even though their goodness may attract you, but in actual other translation, it says that no matter how beautiful you find them, even in Urdu, I think it's the same word in Persian as well. Husn, is that the same word, husn, or that's an Arabic word? But anyway, so it says, no matter how no matter how beautiful you find them, that's it, no more. So I think one thing we can learn from the Prophet's life is that he was a very sex positive person. What do you reckon?
Yeah, sex positive for men, like you said.
Yes,
but
yes, it's only it's one-sided. Yes,
but what do you mean by sex? I mean, sex positive to me has two meanings. One, you don't try
to hide it. You're not embarrassed of it.
You're not embarrassed by it. Yeah, okay. You're not. Yeah, it seemed like they weren't embarrassed at all about sex. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. Let me. I gotta show you some more funny hadiths. There's a Mishkat. There was once upon a time, Prophet Muhammad saw a woman on the street, and then he looked at her. She charmed him. He found her very sexy. He just quickly ran to his house, and then he went to Sauda, who was making perfume in the company of some other women. So all of those women immediately left Sauda, and Prophet Muhammad had sex with her, and then he told her, and then he came out, and then he told his other companions that if you see a woman who charms you, then you should go to your wife, for she has the same kind of thing as other women. Apparently the same thing happened again. This is Sahih Muslim 1403. This time the wife's name is Zainab, Zaid's wife, the daughter-in-law one, that troubling one. So he died. She was tanning a leather, and look at that. Jabir reported that Allah saw a woman, so he came to his wife Zainab as she was tanning a leather and had sexual intercourse with her. He then went to his companions and told them that the woman advances and retires in the shape of a devil. There you go. There's always an insult whenever you mention a woman. The woman advances and retires in the shape of a devil. So when one of you sees a woman, he should come to his wife, for that will repel what he feels in his heart.
I think Islam is sex negative now, because Islam is sex positive if everybody was married Islamically and we were talking about sex within Islamic marriage, right? Because if you're married in an Islamic marriage, then Islam is all about sex. Have more sex. Just have sex nonstop as much as you can, right? But because in the modern world, relationship between men and women are a lot, even in Islamic countries, like boys and girls want to date before marriage. So, and because a lot of our experiences with the opposite sex and regarding LGBT, gay people with the same sex, is not allowed, and all of that is constantly being shut down, the real life experience of us with Islam is that it's sex negative. You know what I mean? So because most of our relationship with women is out with people that we want to have sexual relationship with, is out of the framework that Islam accepts, and all of that is constantly being shut down, our experience with Islam is that it's sex negative. So that's what makes it sex negative.
Does this fall under being sex positive? Allah's Messenger would go around to his women with one ghusl, meaning with one bath. So he would go have sex with his multiple wives in one night with only one bath. So he's basically sharing some.
I heard from a lot of women in Iran that having to have ghusl after sex is one reason why they have less sex. What? Especially because you have to wash your hair. You have to wash your goddamn hair.
Well, don't squirt everywhere, man.
No, you don't. No, dude. You don't know that you have to have ghusl after sex, even if you.
It's called ghusl janubat. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how dirty you get. If you have sex, you need to have ghusl. So for people who don't know what ghusl is baptize yourself, like from head to toe, including your hair. Do you know how many women have a problem? Like, it's not good for you to wet your hair all the time. Do you see why? Do you see how so many women, when they go shower, they put the shower cap on, so that they don't wet their hair all the time? So imagine if you want to have sex and you're like, oh no, if I have sex, I have to actually wash my entire body, including my hair, and I don't want to do that. Like, that's not good for your hair, right? So therefore you just like, I'm just not gonna have sex.
What?
So that's like, yeah.
Okay, but what? Sorry. Oh, where did that go? Yeah. So no, but what do you think about this? Going to isn't that sex positivity? The Prophet used to go around have sexual relations with all his wives in one night, and he had 9 wives. This is Sahih Bukhari 5068. Banging all your wives in one night. Is it about marrying several women and to top it all with one ghusl? Do you think that's sex positivity?
That's Muhammad's sex positivity. Yeah, we should have a new category. That's just Muhammad sex positive.
Yeah, right.
It's not like everyone's sex positive. It's just Muhammad sex positive.
Okay. Okay. Let's be fair though. But Islam is not as sexually repressive as Judaism. For example, there was
and Christianity. You're right.
Or Christianity. For example, there was this. Hang on. Let me show that. For example,
that's Augustine's fault, by the way.
Yeah, there was this belief that if you have sex with your wife doggy style, then your kid's gonna have squinty eyes or he's gonna have a lazy eye or something. That was a belief amongst Jewish tradition. So that problem was presented before the Prophet, and here's what he said. He said, when a man has intercourse with his wife through the vagina, by the way, anal sex is definitely not allowed, but being on her back, the child will have squint. So the verse came down. That's the reason why that verse came down. Your wives are your tilt. Go then unto your tilt as you may desire. Look at the chapter's name. It is permissible for a man to have intercourse with his wife from the front or from the back without entering the behind.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, to be fair to Islam, that seems to be more relaxed than people's beliefs around them at the time. I mean, okay, let's be fair. Islam doesn't see your body as this disgusting thing that you should be, like Christianity, how sees anything associated with the body and sex as gross and filth. That came from how do you say this in English? That came from an Iranian religion.
Baha'i.
How do you say? No. Augustine got that.
Zoroastrian.
No. I don't know how do you say this in English. Monism. Okay, so Augustine was what before he became Christian?
Manism.
Manism, yes. Manism. Thank you.
Oh, Manism.
Not Zoroastrianism. Yeah, Manism. Yeah. So Augustine, who was part of the religion of Manism before he became a Catholic, became a Christian, he brought that's a Persian religion. That's not Zoroastrianism. People are saying Zoroastrianism now.
Yeah.
Zoroastrianism is like way before Manism, right? This is a religion that is in Persian, and it took over. It became very popular for a very short amount of time everywhere, and then it died out. But Augustine took the anti-sex, anti-body, anti-earthly pleasures narratives from that religion, and it brought it to Christianity. This was not even in the Bible. So again, it's amazing. So Saint Thomas was Thomas is responsible for bringing Greek philosophy into Christianity. Augustine is responsible for bringing all that disgust, like shame and disgust related with worldly pleasure into Christianity. You can't find Greek philosophy or all that Platonic philosophy in the Bible, but you see it in Christian philosophy because of Saint Thomas Aquinas, and you can see all this monist thing about the whole apple thing being about sin. That wasn't that apple being a symbol of sin. That's not in Christianity. Augustine just made that up. That's not in the Bible, and it's just stuck. So yeah, guys, if you're all that sex negativity in Christianity, you could blame Persians for it. You could blame Iranians again for that, and specifically Saint Augustine. Yeah. So let's go to. Oh, by the way, you got a super chat.
Muslims use too much damn water. They actually, Well, there's some places where water, you do need to use water, so that's not bad. But
Actually,
yeah,
that might be one thing that we need to give Islam credit for. Like they might have had, they
they have
washed
good
themselves a lot.
hygiene standards. Yeah, they've got
Yeah,
good
based on
hygiene
the standards of the time, and I think they might have avoided a whole bunch of diseases because of that constant washing at the time. Yeah.
That's probably because Prophet did have an OCD, I think. But anyway, it doesn't matter. However, it comes into your routine, so be it.
Yes. Well, thank you for the super chat, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, let's go.
We need more super chats. Keep your super chats coming.
Oh yeah. Here's a question for you, Harris. Can you speak on this, please? Is this, along with other recent developments, a threat by Islamists that the Pakistan government needs to take more seriously? So that the link associated with this question, it's a Reuters article saying 3 Islamists, 2 others killed, storming of Karachi police station. 3 Islamists and 2 others killed.
So I spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. Did I speak on Secular Jihadists? I can't remember, but there was this massive bomb blast in Peshawar, where a lot of and again Peshawar Mosque. Initially, so there's TTP, and then there's Afghan Taliban. A lot of intelligence says that these TTP guys are being sheltered and protected and sponsored by Afghan Taliban, but on surface they deny it. So Afghan Taliban said that we had nothing to do with that bomb blast. But since August last year, there have been close to 70 plus attacks, albeit a lot of them have been thwarted. But there is a general fear that these Islamists are coming. There's going to be a new wave of terrorism in Pakistan. A lot of people are concerned about it. A lot of people are talking about it. One of the biggest Barelvi cleric by the name of Mufti Taqi Usmani, I think I definitely spoke about it. So sorry, he's a deal, but hang on, let me bring it up. So on 24th of January, he because he's a Deoband, and Talibans are Deobands as well. This is a common misunderstanding a lot of people make. Talibans are not Salafis; they're Deobands. Deobands is a subsect of Hanafi Islam, and they're pretty hardline as well. But there's a different one. So Deoband is a town in India, and that's where the madrasa was, and that's where this sect of Islam originated from. Talibans are Deobandis. There's the various other subsects of Deobandi is Islam as well. For example, Tablighi Jamaat. Let me give you a little head scratcher. Tablighi Jamaat, which means basically it's a missionary branch of Deobandi sect. They go all over the world. They get regular visas to every country you name it, every Western country you name it, and they go there. And those guys do have a good reputation. They haven't been involved in that, but they're also associated with Taliban. Not officially, but they just belong to the same sect of Islam, which is Deobandi. So anyway, so Mufti Taqi Usmani, who's the biggest name of Deoband school of thought in Pakistan, recently said, because there are these rising fears that the Taliban are coming for Pakistan. So he said, renowned scholar Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani on Monday issued a fatwa that any armed activity against the state of Pakistan is a rebellion and haram and prescribed according to the Islamic law. So a lot of people are wondering, why does he have to say that? Like, why did he have to issue a fatwa? It is a big deal when it's coming from this guy. I don't know if they have his photo. It looks very funny, though, by the way. Yeah, okay, no, he's a bit camera shy. To answer your question, there are these fears that the Taliban are coming, and the Pakistani government is in all sorts of trouble. The economy is faltering. There's no political stability. and the Islamists, jihadis are knocking on the door. To be honest, I think about it and I give up. I don't know. Even if they gave me all the resources in the world and they made me the Prime Minister of Pakistan, I would tell everyone, get out of Pakistan. It just doesn't make it.
I don't think the United States and other world powers will allow such a thing.
That's the common misconception. We spoke about it. Okay, so let's
It's too big of a threat. The fact that the Pakistan has atomic bombs, that will make the world powers not let such a thing happen. It's just too big of a threat for the planet.
What about this contingency plan that Pakistan has got somewhere around about 70 to 150 nukes? Give them, they would be stored somewhere and the Pakistan military would know about it. Give them $1 million each. Give each general $1 million each. And when you know that it's about to go down, just go in there, send in your Apache helicopters and pull them out. Get out of there. If there's no nukes left, that's it. Nobody cares. Pakistan becomes insignificant. I know. I don't want it to be like that. I don't think it works like that. I don't want it to be like that. But I'm saying. No, but don't you think that the West is too fed up and done with Pakistan as well because of the double games they've been playing?
It can't. It can't be. It's just too many. You can't clean up atomic bombs like that. It's not. It doesn't. It's not that easy. Okay. But the United people being fed up with Pakistan, they can't let go. You can't let go of a country that has this many atomic bombs, and it's just impossible. It's impossible to just ignore it. You have to make sure that it's just too big of a threat for the planet. If Pakistan ever gets close to a failed state, the current government would just request the United States and NATO and everybody else just to come in, please help us, and they will gladly come in because they can't let it fall.
Yeah, but then they would say
they would have the rights to. They would have the legal United States and Germany and France and everybody would be within their international legal rights to come in because the current official government will be sending them an SOS, inviting them to come help. So it would just be filled with.
But how is that going to happen? This country is run by TLP and these mindless people who have
if there's such a Afghanistan was not that big of a threat to the world, right? Iraq wasn't, and the United States stepped in. Okay,
because they thought it was easier to manage them.
Coming into Pakistan, this is not about managing.
But coming into Pakistan, that would be seen as by all the religious parties, even people like Imran Khan would say that, they are coming to get our nukes. This is one of the number one point that they sell to the conservative market of Pakistan, that, hey, the West wants to take away our teeth, our fangs, our nukes.
Okay, say that to the tanks and the helicopters, the modern advanced helicopters and tanks that the United States is going to bring in to Pakistan. Okay,
they're not going to bring it. That would be an act of war. What do you think that's going to aggravate the situation even more?
It wouldn't be an act of war because the current government, if I'm talking about an extra, let me finish.
No one's going to be listening to the government.
Let me finish. I'm talking about legally, but act of war is a term that has a legal definition. I'm not talking about the opinions of a bunch of Islamists, okay? I'm talking about the current official government of Pakistan in an extraordinary situation where the government could be turning into a failed state. In that situation, the current official government would be opening the doors, will be requesting everybody and anybody that could come help to come in to Pakistan to help them against these Islamists. So it wouldn't be an act of war because it would be by invitation of the current regime. And the amount of the priority that all these governments would have, this would be less like the invasion of Iraq when by Bush Jr. It would be more like the Bush Senior, where there was an international coalition when Saddam invaded Kuwait. It wouldn't be like when United States by itself went and invaded Iraq. It would be more when all the world powers, all the main world powers united against Saddam with the invasion of Kuwait. It would be like that one. So it would be a lot more united, a lot more based on cooperation of multiple countries. It would be a lot more organized, and it would be a lot stronger than what happened with the second invasion of Iraq.
Okay, I heard your point.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's feasible. That would aggravate the situation a lot more. The situation would deteriorate overnight. That would be presented as these evil Western forces are coming. Even the liberal Pakistanis are very proud of their nukes, and even they fear the day that, the West wants to take our nukes away. This is the only good thing that we've ever done, we've created. So they don't, you don't understand the Pakistani mindset in that case then.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter, because let me tell you. So even if the coalition of the government at the behest of the Pakistani government, which by the way, by that point would be totally discredited,
it doesn't matter.
The people would not. Yeah. So what are you going to do with 200 crazy people? Just turning the whole country upside down. What are you going to do with them? How are you going to manage them?
It's not about managing them. Oh my God. Okay. So first of all, you're saying that they want our nukes. Okay. Well, I'm talking about United States internationally, whether they would be justified to do this. I don't care about the opinions of a bunch of backward Islamist hooligans. Okay.
200 million people.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They don't have tanks. They don't have helicopters. Okay, it's the government of Pakistan with its military in this case would be on the side of whoever is there to help them. Okay, that's to defeat them. I'm not managing them is going to be absolute nightmare. I know that you could think about that later. But when it comes to all of a sudden them being able to take over the nukes, it would be easy for the government if they get in there in time to be able to secure the nuclear sites against a whole bunch of people that don't even have shoes. Okay.
Oh, that's what I said. Securing the nuclear sites. That's what I initially said. I thought you're talking about like we're sending in tanks or something. No, it would not be done so openly. It would be done secretively. It would never be done openly.
Maybe I'm not explaining myself what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm talking about if Pakistan is getting close to a failed state, when the insecurity is so much that the Islamists are going to take over. I think at that point, okay, so look at how the world united just because Saddam was invading Kuwait. Saddam was invading Kuwait was not even a major existential threat to the entire planet. This would be Pakistani Islamists taking over the nukes would be a major threat to the entire planet. So you would have the world uniting to try to come in and securing Pakistan. And it doesn't matter if these people are like, oh, we're proud of our nukes. This is much bigger than what these Pakistanis being proud of their nukes and stuff like that. This would be the whole world uniting to try to save the planet. So they don't care about a whole bunch of Pakistanis thinking like, oh, we're so proud of our nukes.
Oh, gee, I got your point even 10 minutes ago. What I'm saying is that it's not as simple as you make it out to be, that when they go in and they'll be like, okay, we're going to secure it. I'm saying that would be a state of civil war there. No, you're talking about...
But I'm not disagreeing with that.
Well,
I agree. I know the management part of it is going to be a nightmare. I've already said that multiple times. That's going to be chaos. But I'm just saying that the whole threat. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you that it would be civil war. Yeah, but I'm not disagreeing with you.
But the simpler point would be but I'm saying instead of doing that, the simpler option would be go in, buy some generals, go in, get the nukes, and get the hell out of there. That would be a lot simpler solution to that problem. Instead of just going in there with NATO and alliance and all the whole world media talking about it.
Like how? You give $1 million to a general? Like if in that case, like, okay, then you just need one person for one of the nukes to just bid higher. Like, I don't understand. You just need in that case, if you do that, it would be such a chaotic. Like, I don't think you could do that. I don't think it would in the open market, in the black market.
No, America, the governments, the US would be doing that, or the NATO would be doing that. They would already have contingency plans for it. They would already. They're not gonna be going to the black market saying, "Hey,
that would cause more problem than solve it." If you're like, "Hey guys, we're buying nukes for $1 million each," okay? because in the black market they are worth
They're
a
not
lot
going to
more.
send an email, okay? They would already have had
It would
conversation
come
with
out.
these people.
It
No.
would come out. It would leak. This information would leak. That would
Yeah,
make the situation more chaotic.
Not less than sending tanks. Okay, so anyway,
I'm not. Okay, no. Okay, less than sending tanks. I wasn't talking about sending tanks now. I'm talking about when the things are already. If you're already at the failed state situation, then
I'm talking about that
tanks.
too. Yeah, I'm talking about that too. Just when we know that this country is going down, so I'm gonna let's move on to that. Let's talk about that because I wanted to talk about this. We spoke about a couple of weeks ago that Pakistan
Should I bring
is going
up what
down,
you're having?
the economy.
Oh no.
No, I'm bringing this up. So the defense minister. Oh, sorry, you bring up the super chat then.
Okay, so what countries will Pakistan mostly migrate to? Pakistanis mostly migrate to.
They'll go everywhere, of course. They'll go everywhere. Of course, the biggest brunt.
Iran.
Only Shias.
It would be Iran.
Shias will go to Iran. Definitely.
No, people would just go to Iran because the border is the least secure, so it's easier to go through there to Iran, and also because a lot of them would be hoping to go to Iran to get to Europe.
Yes.
So it would be the main thing would be the first country that is going to experience the main brunt of the migrants would be Iran.
And then Pakistanis will say, "Well, the West did this to us, so now we're going to go to the West."
By the way, guys, we are again officially funded by Zionists.
Oh.
So because these are shekels, we got 15 shekels.
Shekels?
So when
I was going to say, what is that symbol? I've never seen shekels before.
This is Israeli shekel. So when we say, guys, we are funded by Zionists, we're not joking. We're actually, Adam has confirmed that he's actually a Zionist on my previous streams as well. So guys, yeah. So Adam is saying it's always picking between evil and lesser evil in our reality. They'll have to choose between the two. Exactly. Yeah. It's going to be complicated. There's no easy fix for this. By the way, I'm going to go back to but thank you so much for the support from Israel, Adam. And I want to go back to your previous super chat that you got. So when ES said Muslims use too much damn water. And we got a Persian comment in response to that. I know comments should only be English, but this time I want to highlight this, right? So there is no God. Wrote in Persia. So he's an atheist. He or she is an atheist, but he's admitting that we got from Islamic culture, one thing that we inherited from them, even as ex-Muslims, is that we wash our ass with water. So unlike these barbaric Westerners who just wipe without cleaning their asses, we actually wash them and then we wipe it clean, and that's a lot more hygienic. So yeah, that is something that's we should mention. That is one thing that Islam got right. So
yeah, the Japanese really worked on it though. I love the bidets. Have you tried some of them? Some of them are just amazing.
Yeah, I know. Japan, yeah, it's just you don't have much control over it. Like I like the ones with the
No. The show I hate it. So so you obviously haven't tried some of the best ones. So there's a joystick on a toilet seat. You can actually move it, and you can aim it to the exact spot, the G spot of that, and it's warm. You can set the temperature as well, and you press the button. It goes up and it cleans everything, and no unnecessary part gets wet. And after that, you press a dryer button and it blows air, and then you come out totally dry, as if nothing ever happened. So those, when I build my next house, I'm definitely getting one.
Nothing ever happened. I like it. As if nothing ever happened. I like that.
So yeah, I'm definitely getting that one. Those ones are amazing, best ones.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about.
Yeah. Okay. Bring it up.
I wanted to talk to you about this because I think last time when we spoke about this imminent default, that economic default that Pakistan is facing, what's going to happen? last update, or we've been hearing this for more than a month now, that Pakistan's only got $3 billion worth of reserves, forex reserves left, which means it's only around about 2 or 3 weeks worth of imports. There are some stalled negotiations. Pakistan is waiting on $1.5 billion installment from the IMF. But the IMF is saying, well, you've got to do this, you've got to increase this tax, you've got to take away the subsidy, you've got to stop subsidizing oil, you've got to stop subsidizing electricity, etc., etc. So apparently there's a deadlock right now. Now this is big though. Pakistan's defense minister, Khwaja Asif, has said that Pakistan has already defaulted. Now, it could be a bit of an emotional statement, but he's not the opposition leader. He's in the government right now, so obviously he's a defense minister. So he's saying that there's a lot of talk of people talking about Pakistan is going to default. Forget about this. We have already defaulted, and it's only a matter of time when we're going to default on our payments. So I wanted to ask you, Armin. I have a very vague idea of what happens when default happens. You know, you run out of money, you can't pay the police, you can't pay the bureaucracy, you can't pay the army. Army is the glue that holds the whole of Pakistan together. So tell me, what is your understanding of if Pakistan says, sorry, guys, I don't have money to pay for your oil. Now, oil is another funny one. This is a bit interesting. It's not going to be that simple. So I hope you know this, that oil delivery might not stop because Saudi Arabia has this habit of, giving oil to Pakistan in advance on deferred payments. So oil, our petrol pumps might not go dry. But there's so many other problems, like electricity. There's the foreign companies that are providing electricity to Pakistan. Pakistan is not able to pay them. Then, I think about a month ago, Pakistan went without electricity for a whole 24 hours. So what happens? Tell me what happens if there is a default? We have no cash. What happens?
So you would have to renegotiate your debts, right? Because you have to pay for things, right? There's no way not to pay for things. The problem is that when you default, next time you need to borrow money, it's going to be at a much higher interest rate because you're going to be considered a lot more riskier, even more than before. And because now you need to borrow, and the borrowing is going to be on a much less favorable terms, the people who are lending you money would require to see you taking a lot more austerity measures than before, or else they're not going to lend you money. So even if you want to act like tough and like, no, we're not going to bend our knees to these Western, like IMF or other international bodies that are going to be lending money, the end of the day is that they're not. It doesn't make sense for them to give you the money until they see that you make the changes for them to be able to be guaranteed that they're going to get paid back, right? So the money that you haven't paid back, it's going to be the same institutions that you now need to go and ask for money, and they're going to want to see the rest of their money back. So they're going to come in. Oh yeah, so they're going to have to come in they're going to have to really be having a hands-on approach on your economy. You have to choose between not paying for things, right, and letting the whole country collapse, and no country actually has that option, or letting the people who are going to give you money to come and have a hands-on approach on how you run your economy for them to be guaranteed that they're going to make the money back. And it's going to be very, very, very painful, right? Because first of all, they want to see their money back, and they want to see a lot more interest because they're making a much riskier investment. So they're going to have to come in, and they're going to cut on a lot of government expenses. And people are going to hate it. People are going to hate their government because a lot of the things that the government will have to cut for them to be able to show the people who are lending them money, to show them that they are going to be able to pay them back, a lot of them are going to be things that people consider essentials, like essential government services. So it's going to be extremely painful. Yeah.
So we know Sri Lanka defaulted last year or the year before, but it's still there. So what is this talk of when people say that, the country might disintegrate? So in the context of Pakistan, these are the standard procedures that you told us. So they would come in, as I said, they would say, stop subsidizing oil, stop subsidizing electricity. Okay, they might even force Pakistan to, hey, cut your military budget. They might do that. Okay. Then what? In the context of Pakistan, if the military weakens, wouldn't that be? Some people might say, isn't that a good thing that we might, be, because they've created this false belief in an average Pakistani that India is going to swallow you. India is going to destroy you if we don't have a strong military. So if they force them to, hey, cut down your military budget, what's going to happen in Pakistani context?
So you might know more this than you might be the best person to answer this, because do you think? So with regards to Indian being a threat, I think that's mostly in Pakistan. That's a fear-mongering thing.
Yeah.
India is not going to invade Pakistan. Maybe this is going to force Pakistan to take a less hostile position towards India. So that might actually end up being even a good thing, because they don't have the... but I am worried if a less strong Pakistani military is going to be less effective over internal threats to Pakistan. So unlike what Pakistan, I consider the threats to Pakistan not to be India. I consider the greatest threats to Pakistan to be Pakistan itself, right? So I wonder how much, if the Pakistani military is a lot less funded than it is right now, would it still be able to maintain its control over its own, Islamic radical militant groups compared to before?
Well, the militant groups have been, obviously, Pakistan has supported or created these, and then Pakistan has let them go. There haven't been... Well, India does... Well, see, that's why it's difficult. It's just institutionally, Pakistan has done this over long periods of time, especially post first Afghan war. And then they did this Zarbul. I forgot the name of the operation, but when they cracked down on these Pakistani homegrown terrorists back in 2014, after that Peshawar Army School was attacked, and then they pull away, and then they start using them again. Then they created TLP in 2016, 2017, or even before that, but that's when they started using them for their political gains. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. There are some businesses that Pakistan army runs. They're called 4G cereals, 4G cements, 4G whatever. 4G means army. So they do have these businesses from which they draw a lot of money. But then obviously it's not end all and be all. They obviously need a proper. They need a big chunk of their budget from the Pakistani government. I don't know. To be honest, like I don't understand. Like, I mean, there's this guy. Look at this. This guy saying, Pakistan Army can no, not this one. This one.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy could be a troll. I don't know. He might not be real.
I think it's the same guy you banned last time. He's angry. That's why he's back. But
Okay.
Yeah, let me just say something. I do think that it's a lot cheaper operations that that an army needs to fight insurgency groups, right, and rebels, and is a lot cheaper to fund those compared to the equipment and the operations you need for full-on war with another nation like India, right? So I think if Pakistan just is a little bit less hostile to India and more focused on stability within Pakistan, that actually would save it a lot of money. But imagine in an alternative universe where India and Pakistan were actually allies, how much beneficial this would be, because it would be within the best interest of India to see stability in Pakistan. And if India and Pakistan weren't so hostile to each other, India could be a major ally to Pakistan to fight its Islamic rebel groups. This would be a major point of cooperation between these two neighboring countries. I mean, and it could be even an excuse to even bring them closer together. But unfortunately, we don't live in that world.
Yeah. It's a very expensive rivalry, and this is a battle that Pakistan can never. This is a war that Pakistan can never win against India. I mean, that's just when you're saying that they could have they could have fought against Islamic radicalism, that would have happened had Pakistan recognized there is such a thing as Islamic radicalism. Pakistan formed on the basis of religion, on the basis of Islam. So that's why the first and foremost preference or hero was Islam. So that was going to take them a very long time to recognize that this could be a problem. Then some would say they still haven't recognized that it is a problem. Islam is the problem of Pakistan. All right.
Look at this. Look at this. Look how accurate I was just with few comments. I'm Pakistan Defense Force. You're so predictable. I just by a few comments, I could. It was the same guy.
Because I blocked him last week.
Oh, by the way, Polar Bear saying, laughing at what I said, India and Pakistan allies. I said in an alternative universe. That's because
I think he got that. No, he's just joking about that. He's like,
okay,
imagine that.
Okay. Also, wait, where's this comment by Doorknob? Is it true, Rashid? Are you angry? Do you need a hug? Yeah, that's funny. All right. So,
look at this idiot. Look at this idiot. Like this guy, I think he's just a 15-year-old kid. I mean, I want to talk to him. Actually, he should come to my show and maybe talk to me sometime. You're saying that Pakistan have talked about Islamic extremism many times. What? So is that why the Pakistan Army created TLP? Is that why Pakistan Army created the Mujahideen? Is that why the Pakistan then ended up getting TTP? Okay, Pakistan did not create TTP, but it is the offshoot of the Afghan Taliban. Everything that you look at, it's created by Pakistan. You idiot! You're so freaking stupid that you the first part of your sentence doesn't match with the last part of your sentence, and that is the only reason for that is because you are a blind nationalist idiot who has never stepped foot outside of his country, and he has never thought outside of the box. That's the only reason. And the more you stay in that mindset, the less intelligent you'd ever become. You just cannot go on that way. And you guys are the typical problem. Look how far your mindset has gotten you. Look how far you've gone. You were stupid yesterday, you're stupid today, and you will remain stupid for the rest of your life if you keep thinking that way.
By the way, you got a super chat from Arjun saying, "Do I look like Armin?" I don't know how to respond to this. No, you don't.
Arjun, Arjun, you look like a Bollywood hero. Follow me on Instagram. This guy does look like a Bollywood hero.
No. Well, thank you for the super chat to Harris.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
as always.
That's a strange question, but thank you. Okay, so we have a Nazi question. Do you want to see that?
Oh, I don't understand how these people can justify the position. How should state government deal with this? Neo-Nazi messages
keep appearing on buildings all over Florida.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you hear about this?
No.
So I don't know why. So
maintain
it.
Oh, so they're projecting it.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh my God!
They project. If you guys want, you can super chat your message on what you want in the building.
So they're projecting a message in the building that says JEWS did 9/11 and the FBI helped. It's like projected. So they're on Florida. They're putting. Oh, this has music. I should play that. Horrifying neo-Nazi messages. Oh my God! This one and JEWS are wrecking the USA. So this was projected on another building. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. So the question is, so why is this happening? It's weird. I don't understand how these people can justify their position. This is a question by D. D, like, I don't know what you expect from people. Have you met people?
Oh.
Have you met people?
People worship Andrew Tate. People believe in Matrix. People believe in all sorts of wacky things. Of course, there's nothing surprising about that. The only thing surprising is that they're still doing it and they haven't been caught. And I don't think they would even be caught about that. Like, I mean, it's just... this would actually be tricky, Armin. Could they actually be charged with anything? Because they're not actually vandalizing any property. There's no graffiti or anything. Because if they were doing that, then you could actually throw these vandalizing charges at them. But if they're projecting something, I don't think that anything can be done. What do you reckon? I'm not a legal expert here, but
I mean, is it? I'm always for free speech, but I think free speech doesn't mean that you have a right to an audience. So if you're forcing your content on somebody could issue a complaint. So if I find your messages, kind of harassment, something that is hurting people. So when you say that I have free speech, that means you are allowed to say it in anywhere you want, as long as it's not being forced upon somebody, right? This is being forced upon us, and it's bothering me. You can see, as a Jew, this is bothering me, so I want to issue a complaint.
no,
right?
but
So, for example, I could say there is no God, and and Islam is false, and that's free for me to say. If I go stand in front of a mosque and people coming out, they say like, "Hey, Islam is false. Islam is false." That should be somebody should be able to file a complaint against me because I'm harassing people. They don't want to hear that. I should be able to. Freedom of speech doesn't mean that you have a right to an audience. Okay, if I go in a mosque and I say like, "Hey, there is no God. Islam is false," they should be able to kick me out. If you project a message in a place where that people don't want to see, in a place where people can't get away from it, that is not freedom of speech. That's you forcing your content upon people who don't want to see it. People should be able to opt out of your content. So I think that would be a reasonable complaint to have.
I hate how we ex-Muslims are often lumped in with them. Yes, let's talk about that then.
But before we go, do you think that was a fair answer to the question?
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. I think we've done it. Okay.
All right, let's talk about this super chat then. What is it? With who? With anti-Semites? We don't get lumped up.
Not with anti-Semites, but some far right-wing people. We do get lumped in with them sometimes. Islamophobes, far right wing, Tommy Robinson, Robert Spencer, these kind of people. This is what I was going to bring it up. So look at this one. I always said that there will come a time when people will start pushing back against people like Daniel Haqiqatjou. They've gone next level. This is like next level self-destruct button. That we say to these guys that, hey, Islam supports child marriage. This is horrible. A decent person says, no, sorry, there is no Islam child marriage in Islam. There's no sex slavery in Islam. No, people try to make excuses for it. People say that, oh, no, you're misrepresenting our religion. And then we try to show them the evidence. No, look, it happened here. This is what's written in the Quran, or the Hadith, the Seerah, whatever. But then people like Daniel Haqiqatjou come in and they say, yeah, so he says child marriage is wholesome. Daniel Haqiqatjou said that in my debate. He says that if you empower women, then they're not going to make as many babies as is sufficient to keep the humanity going. So his solution was, don't empower women. He said in the West, women have become wage slave, and they also get abused by the employers because they have to work 9 to 5 or have 2 jobs. So this is akin to getting abused by your husband. So may as well get abused by your husband, at least. He said these things literally. And then there's some idiot Muslims, you got destroyed by him. I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe I am destroyed by him because like the guy is saying. So anyway, so I always said that there would come a time when decent Muslims will come out and they will say, no, sorry, this religion, this guy is saying from his own mouth that his religion is terrible. So this woman recently has just started speaking against him. This woman, Safiyyah Sabreen, she's saying Daniel Haqiqatjou has been exposed finally. He claims that the Prophet hit his beloved wife Aisha. There's that hadith. This is Sahih Bukhari hadith where he did actually push her, but I've never really said that this is actually hitting. I mean, he's probably shoving. Muhammad himself, apart from that incident, there is no record of him ever hitting his wives or his concubines. But there's plenty of evidence for Umar beating up his wives and other people's wives, and even the sister of Abu Bakr, etc. So she says to call the Holy Prophet a wife beater is an insult to him, and to insult him is blasphemy. Tell me how this is any different from what evil Islamophobes say. So she created this meme. Look at this. Look who's in it.
Oh,
AP, David Wood, Ayana Ali, myself, and then what this guy said. Where you deleted that comment? Where's that? Where's that? message.
Oh.
You moved it. So this is what he
Yeah,
meant
very
by
good.
like we get lumped in by people like that. Robert Spencer, look at this, he's in there as well. So, I guess that's what he meant by that, and that's why I remembered. But anyway, my point is, so this woman has been challenging Daniel Haqiqatjou. She said that there's going to be a debate, or there was a debate or something. I don't know if that debate was just on Twitter or something. She got attacked. And by the way, this is not some lipstick Muslim. Look at this. She's a proper hijabi Muslim. I don't know if this is a real photo or not, but anyway, I think
that is not at all proper by Daniel Haqiqatjou standards.
Of course,
not even close.
Yeah, of course, fine, whatever. But by our standards, she's a conservative Muslim. But anyway, she got trolled so much that she turned off her messages. but she's not slowing down. She's going at Daniel Haqiqatjou. And looks like she's going after Jawad Hashmi as well. It's just asked the conventional pluralist, universalist, one that equates all religions. So whether I pray my salat or bow before Jesus or read the Torah, are these all equal? I don't think he does that. But anyway, so I think it's interesting. There's another Twitter war going on between Mufti Yasir Al-Wajidi and some Indian Bollywood liberal Muslims, because an actress just got... Sorry, let me start again. Okay, so don't quote me on this, but anyway, so there was an interreligious marriage between an Indian celebrity, two Indian celebrities, Muslim and a Hindu woman. And apparently the Hindu woman hasn't actually said that she's converted to Islam. So so a lot of liberal Muslims have been saying, hey, wonderful, this is amazing, so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. But then Dr. Wajdi says, what the hell? This is not real Islam. You cannot sanction this marriage. Don't misguide the youth, blah, blah, blah. So you get, so this woman, another liberal Indian Bollywood artist, she's saying, who are you, someone designated by Allah to judge others? We are answerable to Allah and only to Allah, to each to his own, each to their own. Tell someone asks for your opinion, keep it to yourself and be a good Muslim. He goes, I'm a person who liberals like you hate the most. I'm a person who frequently exposes the false interpretations of Islam by the likes of you. I'm a person who will speak up again whenever RJs, I don't know what RJ mean, start interpreting, or reformists, I think, started reinterpreting Islam. You keep yourself to entertainment business and leave Islam to experts. So these guys have been going at each other, liberal Muslims versus traditional classic Muslims like Nadeem Majdi. Obviously, this woman I just showed you pushing back against Haqiqatjou's narrative. So I think this is interesting. And you know who I'm supporting in this fight? The conservative ones. Because I agree with their interpretation, even though I agree with I want to live in the world created by these lipstick Muslims. But I am saying, hey, Dr. Wajdi is right. He's actually right. Islam doesn't allow you to marry polytheist women. It doesn't allow you. So who are these lipstick Muslims? They come and they say, hey, you know what? I have married this beautiful Hindu woman, and you know, our religions mean peace. It's all about love. Let's just hug and kiss and make babies. You don't have to convert to my religion. I don't have to convert to you. Bullshit. This is not what real Islam is. The real Islam doesn't allow you to do it. So, and stop shoving it down our throats, your liberal lipstick rosy version of Islam. That's not what it is. And that's what people like Haqiqatjou tell them. That's why I agree with you, Haqiqatjou. Haqiqatjou is right. Islam does support child marriage. Islam does support concubinage, sex slavery, wife beating, multiple wives. The companions of the Prophet did beat up their wives. It's all in their own sources. And these are the guys that lipstick Muslims don't want to believe in. They have their own rosy version of Islam. Someone has to go in and burst the bubble. And that's why I stand with Dr. Wajdi. I think I retweeted one of his tweets. I said, hey, he's right. So, it's wonderful. I think in the coming years and decades, we're going to see that. A couple of really big with huge Twitter following people have retweeted Mufti Wajdi and said that, hey, it's people like Mufti Wajdi that make non-Muslims hate Islam. I'm like, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is.
Perfect. I love this fight. I might actually make videos covering it. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. That's pretty good. Okay, so we have another question. Last Patron question.
Okay.
But I just wanted to also mention that. Hold on, let me actually post this one more time because that one didn't fit. I posted a link on the community tab of Secular Jihadists YouTube channel. For only the YouTube members of Secular Jihadists be able to see the link. So if you click the link, you should be able to come up.
I should give it to my members too.
Yeah, go. Yeah, that's fantastic. Let me send you the link. I always wanted you to do that. You never did that.
I've got it.
Okay, yes. So now if you are a YouTube member on Secular Jihadists or on Harris Sultan's YouTube channel, whether or not whichever member you are, whichever of these channels you're a member in, you should be able to go to the community tab of the channel on YouTube, and you should be able to see the link, and you should be able to come up using that link if you want to talk to me or Harris or both. So let's look at this last question on Patreon. Have you seen the mess in the United States over this whole train debacle?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Where was it? In Ohio or something?
Yeah. So there was a train crash, and there was like some gas, I think, that came out and everything, right? And it was a hazard, and now a whole bunch of fish are dying. So now this is the latest update: thousands of dead fish and contamination in waterways. How the Ohio train derailment is affecting the environment. So the question regarding this is. Oh, no. Where's the question? Here. The question is, should Ohio residents trust the EPA who claim the area is safe after the chemical burn from the train derailment? I don't think we should be answering that question. What should I say? We're not like, I have no expertise in this. I mean, I would assume the EPA is the expert here, so I would appeal to the experts. But if I say something and then you guys, I don't know, I don't want to be responsible for anybody suffering. So I don't think I should be the person. Wait, are you maybe the person who's asking? I think you should. I don't want to say do your own research because that makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist. But I would assume that the EPA is probably telling the truth because they have the expertise. But I don't know. I would have to do again. Is there an alternative way to say go do your own research so that we don't sound like the
No, there isn't. No, there isn't. So I would go by yes, you should be trusting EPA, but still you should keep your distance. So don't go near these affected rivers for now. I mean, obviously that would not be a good idea. Stay away for as long as you can, but within reason, of course. I mean, if you live there, there's not much you can do then. But I don't think EPA. Yes, they would not tell you everything. I mean, again, now I might sound like a conspiracy theorist. They might be, because I don't want to spread chaos and panic. But under no circumstances you should think that EPA would be, they want you to get sick, for example, because there's going to be a lot of lawsuits afterwards if somebody does get sick. But again, like safety is better than what's the word? Prevention is better than the cure. So stay away from it, avoid it as much as you can. But yeah, it is terrible though. I saw some videos. I saw a lot of people who were angry and upset, and they were saying that, oh, this is going on. Who knows? Well, look, there's no easy way to answer it.
Okay. So D is also saying people's pets are also dying. There are videos all over YouTube, yet EPA is saying all as well. So I don't know.
You need to get out of there. I mean, stay away, obviously. I mean,
so this is very interesting, okay? Because with COVID stuff, right? We had Center of Disease Control, right? Telling people that do this, do that, and people were saying that watching on YouTube, and other people are like, no, they're lying. The officials are lying to us. And this is the actual news. And we were like making fun of them, and we were saying like, no, obviously you guys are wrong. You should listen to the experts and stuff like that. But now Are we hypocrites, Harris? If now the EPA is saying something and we're like, but people have videos of their pets dying and now the fish is dying, and maybe the EPA is wrong, maybe the EPA is lying, maybe they're hiding information. Do we not sound like those people who are saying don't listen to the CDC? Are we hypocrites? Do we have double standards here?
No, there always has to be common sense. For example, when there is, for example, there's wartime, right? So obviously, I'm following this Ukraine-Russia war and the amount of propaganda Russians are spreading in Russia, and the way they're just trying to recruit people for the war effort is just totally mind-numbing. And I'm thinking, if I apply the same logic that we usually apply in our day-to-day lives here in the West, then we would be like, there are Nazis there. Yeah, we need to fight for the motherland, blah, blah, blah. And then we might enlist ourselves and then we'll be dead within 5 hours being at the front.
But come back to this comparison that I just made.
This is what I'm saying. So you still got to use common sense. For example, there is a catastrophe. There's no denying of that. This is real. It is happening. So the common sense would be try to stay away as much as you can. You're not just going to take everything the government tells you. You just can't.
You can't appeal to common sense, because the people who were anti-vax, right? They were also. We were like, appeal to. Hold on, let me finish. We were saying appeal to expert analysis, and they were like, no, I rather appeal to my common sense. And we're like, well, your common sense is not good enough, so maybe appeal to the experts instead, right? So this is a similar situation. You can't rely on people's common senses. So here's how I would separate these two. Okay, I would say that this is a mischaracterization of what people like us were saying. We weren't saying just blindly follow the CDC. We like looked into it. It's not just like, oh, the experts have said so just follow blindly, right? You still do some analysis. You still be skeptical about it, and then after you look into it, you see like the people who are the arguments against the expert narrative seem to be baseless, and there doesn't seem to be a strong expert contradictory opinion against the CDC, the Center of Disease Control analysis. So you have an almost unanimous agreement among experts about what that vaccines are good, and that most of the recommendations are good. So you don't just follow the experts, part of the experts blindly, right? You look into it and you come up with a conclusion. You apply Occam's razor, right?
Yeah, but then they would say, that I have looked into it and I'm finding results that are opposite to what you're saying.
No. But even when we look into it, we look into contradictory expert analysis. That's what I'm saying. For example, what we're seeing here, maybe the EPA is saying something, but it's not like every expert opinion, right? So we have people talking about the fish dying, the pet dying. Are we going to see other people who are experts coming out against the EPA? So I don't think it's going to be as unanimous and clear-cut as what we had with the vaccines. I think we're going to have a more diverse range of opinions when it comes to this situation over here. So I don't think they're equivalent.
So it goes back to my point that this is common sense in a way, that you using your common sense can also predict that there would be the disagreement would be a lot more diverse. There would be a lot more disagreement by the experts. So we can tell, because this is ground zero, right? So after Chernobyl, whether experts told you to go there or not, I think the smarter thing would be don't go there. So right now, you should try to put as much distance between yourself and the ground zero. That's what I would say. And obviously wait for the experts to come out. I would not go as far as saying that the experts would deliberately lie. They would not tell the whole truth. They would not tell the whole truth to stop the chaos. But they're not going to lie, because these things will always come back and bite you, because there's lawsuits afterwards, and these people will have to be answerable. If people die, especially when people die, then anyone who lies now would not be able to get away from it. So yeah, I would say put as much distance as you can. That would be my common sense at this point. but obviously it's unavoidable in some cases. I mean, what if you're only 2 miles away from it?
So we got two super chats, and we have Vikram up here. So I'm just going to first quickly highlight the super chats. You got a super chat by Arjun saying, just a normal day in Ohio. That was regarding this. I don't think that's normal for Ohio, but okay. Okay. And we got another $2. You got another £2 super chat saying, do they not see that we derail the trains? Is that a Quranic verse?
I think he's just making it. That's actually a good joke. That's a good joke. Yes, because the Quran does say like, do they not see that we're the ones?
Do they not see?
Yeah, that's.
I like. Yeah, I'm gonna start speaking more like the Quran. Do they not see? Okay, cool.
Highlight. Dean's point was good. They're downplaying it, or maybe I'm downplaying it.
No, they are downplaying it.
I think they would downplay it. I think they would downplay it, but they would not downplay it to a point where it could cost lives.
What would be why would the EPA, like, what would be what benefit do they get out of downplaying it? Why would they have a bias towards downplaying it? I don't know.
Just to make sure that that there's no chaos. People aren't just spreading, because we do live in these in this world where there's just, people just go crazy, put a tinfoil hat, and they start spreading rumors and conspiracies. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking. I haven't thought.
I'm sure if the EPA, I'm almost sure that if the EPA is wrong, there will be experts, like credible experts, not like YouTubers and bloggers, coming out and calling it out. Right. So I think we should just wait.
No, but let's just think about it. Why would they downplay it, though? That's a good question. Why would they, other than, but that's not a good enough reason to, hey, look, there's going to be chaos. So screw that. I mean, the human life is more important than anything else.
That's why I always like the best position, right? From people like us in situations like this is like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't like. I think that's the position. I think instead of taking a side, you should just they don't. No, that's the problem. People should be comfortable with not knowing. They keep like, I need an
getting
answer.
Cancer.
Like, well, you don't have an answer. What are we gonna do? Just
but getting cancer? No. But in a situation like this, what should I do? Should I move away from it? Like, should I get Airbnb or something?
Given that given that you don't know what's happening, get out. But is the EPA lying? We don't know. Are these videos for real? I mean, maybe the fish hole dying. Maybe it's just an accident that is happening at the same time. See, here's the thing: conspiracy theories sometimes happen because things always happen randomly. But when something major happens, all of a sudden people connect things that was going to happen at that time anyways. People start noticing a whole bunch of accidental things more. Do you know what I mean? So maybe like fish dying or your pet dying was not an unusual thing, but because a major event happened, a lot of people are just going to connect these things a lot more, and they're going to post it more on Facebook. Like the same number of pets always die, but now people are sharing it more on YouTube because a major event happened. Okay, so maybe it's that. I don't know, right? Maybe it's just people's conspiracy minds connecting things together, or maybe it's actually connected. Okay, so given that you don't know which one is correct, get the hell out of there, right? But don't make a claim that this is actually connected, because again, people need answers. Well, sometimes we don't have answers, and we should be comfortable with that and say, I have no idea.
Yeah, sorry, this was a bad segment. I had no idea. I was just speaking from my backside. It's like, but this is why I said, if I was there, if I was in the near vicinity, I would try to be as far away as possible. I'll go live with my family members for a while, for a month or whatever. Like if I have someone, if you have, obviously, if it's possible, just put as much distance between yourself and the ground zero as possible. That's what I would say. I would be skeptical towards what EPA has to say as well, especially because, like, I mean, your heart tells you something. Like if you see, hey, geez, my pet's died.
So D is giving us an incentive, saying because they chose to burn the chemicals to get the train. So let me read it. Because they chose to burn the chemicals to get the trains moving again ASAP, there may have been a safer way to contain it. Okay.
So there's a bit of a cock up. So there could be who knows? I don't know. So we don't know. Okay. All right. I want to talk about Andrew Tate.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you want to bring
let's bring-
Vikram up first? Okay, Vikram.
Let's bring Vikram as well, because Vikram used to
Oh,
be
thanks.
Andrew Tate's fan. Or maybe
No.
still is.
I was never a fan. I was neutral on Tate.
Okay. All right. So maybe let's just let us just.
That's what the fans. That's what the fans who are shy about being a fan say.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not a fan, but I think people are being unfair to him. I think he has some good points here.
I'm just
not
saying
a fan.
innocent until proven guilty kind of thing. Like people do that. That's what people said about Trump. But when it came election day, they voted for Trump. So it could be that, Vikram. But let's just hope if you're neutral, let us open your eyes a little bit more. Let's hope so. So I played this video not so long ago where Andrew Tate says that he shortchanges his employees, i.e. his victims. It's all on tape. Listen to this.
Sure.
Tax. Going back to tax quickly when we talk about the fault audit thing. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. So you don't need to pay tax to anybody. But you need to tell your girl that you're paying the tax. Because girls are lazy, and girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work. So the girl's working with you, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, we've made this much money, but I'm going to pay the tax to make sure we don't get in trouble. She'll sit there and go, okay. Now that allows you to do two things. One, it's another control element. If I work with him, my tax is not a problem. If I do it alone, I have to deal with taxes. Taxes are complicated. It's a control element. Secondly, it allows you to pay her a smaller percentage. So I used to pay my girls 30%. So for every $10,000 they made, I'd give them 3, and I'd keep 7. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes. So you're on 50%, but we had to pay the tax first, and then it's 50-50. If they say, why is it 50-50? Because I'm the one on camera. You say, because I'm the one typing. I'm the one with the property you're working in. I'm the one paying the bills, the electricity. I'm the one who's, and the electricity and every other maintenance cost of this property. I'm the one who bought the equipment. I'm the one who knows what he's doing. I'm the one with the knowledge. I'm the da-da-da-da-da-da. Shut the fuck up. Go online. And they should be pretty happy with that if they respect you as a person overall. So really you're paying 30. You tell them you're paying 50. The difference is in the tax. That's where the disparity lies, taxes. If they don't believe you or they want to get fresh or whatever, print out some tax forms. I used to do this all the time. I used to print out some random tax forms and say, yeah, sign here and sign this. What is it? It's for the tax. You want to pay the tax or not? Oh, okay. And they just sign away. They don't know what they're fucking signing. Let's throw them away afterwards. But they think something's happening. Something real's happening.
So he says this openly, on camera. This guy is a world-class idiot. But anyway, so there are some Muslims who are just defending him. Initially, again, I think this is in us, Armin, that we just initially take people on face value. We just think maybe they genuinely believe in that. But then something comes out of their mouth and you look at it and then you say, whoa, this is definitely, they have some other agenda behind that. Now you can look into, is it money, clout chasing? What is it? It could be anything. So there are two guys, Tam Khan, who's an ex-UFC fighter, and Shaykh Sulaiman, who's not a sheikh, like a cleric sheikh. I think that's just his name. Shaykh Sulaiman is Pakistani.
Is he the guy who debated Destiny?
Yes. And he claims to be a lawyer, but apparently some people have raised questions on that too. And he's been a vocal supporter of Andrew Tate. And I've been looking at him like, okay, but that shows the only reason these guys are defending and supporting Andrew Tate is because he's a Muslim brother. Apart from also, there could be other motivating factors as well, such as seeking clout at the back of Andrew Tate's popularity or whatnot. So have a listen to this. Look how he's defending this element or this claim of shortchanging Andrew Tate's lawyers. Have a look at this, how he defends it. There he is.
%, and he gives the example of £10,000.
Sorry, let's start again.
As he's explained, he was given the women 30% cut. 30% cut, and he gives the example of £10,000. So they receive £3,000. That's a significant amount of money, and the average person would not have access to this type of money. So again, when you're trying,
I mean, are you listening to this?
Wow.
So-
Wow.
So I mean, let me. So in his world, let's just be clear. So
I never thought these people would be defending this industry like this.
Look at him. He's sitting there. He's a serious guy. Look at this. He's defending him. He's
Oh
like,
my
hey,
God.
so what? You're still getting paid a lot anyway. So what if I shortchange you by 20%? That's fine. You would never make that kind of money. You'll be flipping figures otherwise.
to give the impression of exploitation, these women are making significant money. They're making a huge amount of income.
Oh my
And
God.
compare that to the average person in the United
Is this
Kingdom
guy
or in the
Muslim?
United States.
Yeah.
Where
He's only supporting it because he's his Muslim
He's
brother.
defending the sex industry because of Andrew Tate. This is amazing. This is
No. On that they
amazing.
have a different point. On that they have a point that he did that before his conversion. So Allah, all the sins will be forgiven by Allah. So now they claim that our job as his Muslim brother is to get him out of these false allegations, because whatever he did are sinful, but they're not crimes according to the Western world. But I'm just saying, look, when people go crazy, when they just want to means to an end kind of thing, like no matter what happens, we're just going to defend this guy. And then the more they talk, the more stupid they look. He's basically saying, so what? Even if you get short paid changed by 20%, who cares? Like, you're still making a lot of money. That's basically his argument.
Can I play a devil's advocate?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, great.
So here's the rebuttal that I've heard to that. The Andrew Tate who did the webcam stuff was the old Tate. That was like, you're looking at videos from a long time ago. Like, we all change in the end. Like, some of us were religious back in the days, we're atheists now. Similarly, Tate was a degenerate back then. Now he found the truth. He no longer encourages those behaviors.
Yeah, I've already answered that. I've already said that. That's the motivating
Where
factor
has he come out and said that he was wrong about these things?
Oh, he has kind of said that I'm a Muslim now. I don't believe in these kind of things. But he was still. But his cam business was still going. His lifestyle. There was no difference in his lifestyle. So obviously that's BS.
Did he? No. Wait. These kind of things. Did he specifically said that I used to manipulate women?
No. He's never said that.
Okay, so then screw him. Then F him.
No. I mean that's not their argument. Their argument is that he was living a life of degeneracy. He converted to Islam. Now he's given up his old habits. What he has said, that he would not admit that I was manipulating women or coercing them into things that they didn't want to do. He's not going to say that, but he's saying that I did live a degenerate life. So there are a couple of videos where he does say that, okay, no, I'm going to have 4 wives instead. So maybe that's why he was attracted to Islam. Ali Rizvi wrote a very good.
Okay, but
piece
if
on
that's
that,
the argument that then why are they going back and defending the things that he did before? Like Vikram's argument. No,
because those are sins.
Armin is right. Yeah, I agree.
No, because Vikram. No, hold on. Vikram is saying that was before, right? He's a new man, but the video you're watching is defending what he did before.
Because that was not considered crime according to the Western worldview.
I know, but like this whole practice, they should be calling this out. They could be like, "Oh, well, Andrew Tate is a good man now." But let me tell you why all of these things were horrible back then. Instead of making videos about making excuses for it, they could be like, yeah, I'm not criticizing Andrew Tate now. I'm criticizing the Andrew Tate that was before. And then telling us why this is. I mean, they would be doing that for everybody else. They would be calling. Here's what I'm saying. If Andrew Tate was an ex-Muslim, these guys would be making videos showing why every single one of these things were horrible and degenerate and indefensible. That's what they would be doing.
Yes, but not from the criminal point of view. Yeah, I know they would, because that's just the way human mind works.
I know from a criminal, but they wouldn't be making that point at that time. If Andrew Tate was an ex-Muslim, they would be focusing on how horrible these actions are.
Yeah, but then they would say the same thing about us. They would say that the only reason you're going after him or paying so much attention is because he's converted to Islam. Had he remained an atheist,
no, because we have been consistent. Like, we defend Muslims who make good points. We don't. I'm not that tribal about it. And we are actually very self-critical. We actually go after.
No. I don't buy your point. So what they're saying,
You don't? Well, I do that. I do go after
I'm
ex-Muslims.
not talking about that. I'm talking about this.
Muslims.
No, I mean, let me finish my point. I'm talking about this. I'm saying that they're not defending his past actions. They're defending the criminal allegations against him. They're defending the criminal allegations against him because they're saying he hasn't committed any crime. Yes, he's done these degenerate things, but these degeneracy is not crime in the Western world.
I understand what you're saying. Maybe I'm not explaining what I'm saying. Okay, so there's two games that you could play here. Okay, you could be like, yes, his degenerate actions are bad, but I'm going to focus on the fact that that whether or not he committed a crime or not, and I'm going to show you that he did not commit a crime. You could have chosen to spend more time to show why his degenerate, as they say, degenerate things are bad, or you could have focused making more videos about how the things that he hasn't done were not crimes, right? But because he's a Muslim, from the two types of content that you chose to do, you chose to go with the why these things were not a crime, right? I'm saying if Andrew Tate was an ex-Muslim or an atheist,
that's fine,
instead of a Muslim, I know. But let me make my point, okay? You would be tribal about it, and you would focus on showing how bad his so-called degenerate things are, right?
They don't hide it. They don't hide the fact about being tribal. They say that we look after our brothers.
I'm not saying they're hiding it. I'm just making a point to the audience I just want to make this point to the audience that they're so tribal about this, right? And then if they say well, you are also tribal, Armin, because you would make the same thing, you would defend ex-Muslims, and you would make the same content against Muslims, I would be like, no, you're wrong. I have consistently gone after ex-Muslims for the things that I don't like, that they have said that I disagree with you, including Harris. And Harris has gone after me as well, right?
Yeah, but not on that scale.
Yes, I have. I actually have more content defending Muslim rights than most Islamic channels. So I am I'm not tribal about it at all.
Yeah, but they're saying that but they would focus on this because these things now, as far as sin part is concerned, we'll deal with that later. We'll propagate that later. But our Muslim brother is in trouble, so we're going to help him out because they believe in their mind that these are false allegations.
Anything that we disagree, Harris. I know. I'm just highlighting.
Okay. All right. We get it.
No. Wait. No,
we got that. We know what you're saying.
Why are you?
I've got another one to talk about.
Yeah,
and I want
calm down when I'm trying to make my point. I know your point. I'm trying to make my point next to it.
You still haven't made your point in 10 minutes. Okay, finish.
I did. I was just responding to you being hostile about making my point.
Oh, hostile.
Yeah, I don't know why. You get so butthurt. I listened to you when you make. Harris, when you make your point, I patiently wait for you to sometimes take 15 minutes to finish your point. I didn't take me 5 minutes to make my point, and you get so impatient so fast about it. Maybe you have a patience. We're going in the same
circle. We're going in the circle. We get it. You're saying that they're being tribal. We are not tribal. Okay, we get it. We'll move on to the next one.
I know, but I'm now making a different point because you weren't getting what I'm saying, and then I had to clarify it, and then you realized that I'm making the same point, and then you said I got it. But because you were being
guys, can I bring another argument?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw. There's a woman who came out. She made a video.
Before you go there, Vikram, what do you think about this? Do you think so? You made that point about him, why they're defending him, but how do you see this defense of Shaykh Sulaiman? Do you think that was appropriate? So what? You're getting paid 20%, 30%, whatever. You're getting paid a lot more than you would have been getting paid otherwise.
I mean, from Shaykh Sulaiman's perspective, I understand why he does it because, for example, one of the biggest YouTubers out there when it comes to that space, so Hamza, was an atheist. Andrew Tate basically convinced him to go back to Islam, right? So from that guy's perspective, it makes sense that Tate is a force for good ultimately, even despite his flaws.
No, so it's okay to lie for him and just make BS excuses.
It's we are utilitarians here, right?
No, he's not. In Islam, you're not. You're not supposed to be utilitarian. You're just supposed to speak the truth all the time. Well, actually, there's taqiyya. I don't know. So yeah, you can.
Islam is utilitarian.
Tate is the ultimate good man. He's sacrificing himself so that the other people go to heaven.
Right.
That's
Okay.
nonsense. By the way, Darko has a good point because he's admitting if they want to say that he's not doing anything illegal, he hasn't done anything illegal. He just told you on camera that he's doing tax evasion. Like he said that he doesn't pay the tax because he's getting paid in crypto. Well, you have to pay the tax even if you get paid in crypto. That doesn't make it. So I don't know why he recorded that. That seems like the dumbest thing to do. And if you say, by the way, the when it comes to tax, people don't buy the idea that you're playing a character. If you admit that if you come and say on video that you are committing tax fraud, the tax collectors are going to use that against you. The whole argument of this was the whole argument that I was just playing a character.
Is that specific to tax? Is that specific to tax only?
They're insane about how aggressive they are when it comes to you.
Is it, but that only in America or Romania or everywhere? Obviously, you're talking about IRC.
It's mostly America, but my understanding is that governments are pretty insane when it comes to the tax collection things, right? So. Yeah, I mean, if you get paid, you need to pay tax. If you get paid in anything, if you get paid in eggs, you have to pay taxes on it. If you get paid in if you get paid in rocks, you have to pay taxes on that. You can't get away from that. Yeah. So
I was listening to his international PR lawyer. So that he hired this American woman to defend him on LBC. And to every question this woman was throwing at him, she was like, and every statement, every misogynistic, every terrible, horrible statement that she was reading out to him of Andrew Tate, that woman kept saying, well, it's just, he was just playing a character. He was just playing a character. And then she drew a very interesting analogy. She said, well, it sounds to me, she said, I wasn't aware of what you're reading out to me. I wasn't aware Andrew Tate said that, but she said that it sounds to me that you're reading the lyrics of some rap song, bitch this, hoe this, blah, blah, blah. Of this. So and then she made a good point. She said, would you start arresting rappers for saying this kind of thing? But again, the point is he's not being arrested for saying these things. He's been arrested for sex trafficking, coercing women, forcing them, controlling them, obviously tax evasion, all that kind of things. But in the court of public opinion, a lot of people are hoping that he goes away for 20 years because of his statements.
I know as it relates to the jokes he made, like the thing about like how if a bitch comes up to you with a sword or whatever, like slapper, that's a joke, right? And we're all like free speech people here, so it's like, I don't know, it's just jokes. I don't like these jokes, but I don't know.
No, you can't really so casually brush it off, though.
Yeah. If I say jokingly that, guys, what I just did in my free time, and then I don't want to say it on YouTube, and then I mention a crime, you can't come out and defend me with the free speech like that. That might need to be investigated.
People forget that. I mean, these definitions of free speech they're constantly being revisited. Because free speech was not that much of a threat. This illusion of free speech, I would call it illusion just for a second. This illusion of free speech was allowed to flourish because ever since these ideas started a couple of hundred years ago, people did not have means to express their opinion to such a huge number that it could ever become a problem. We had editorial policies, we had the printing press, and then you had to work really hard to get there. But now anyone can become an influencer, and he or she can have a huge voice, a huge platform. Now that's why we need to be a bit more careful as well. The press always had to be very strict with their editorial policies. They could not, like New York Times could not write that, we did this, and a journalist says that, and they say, oh, wow, it's not free speech. The free speech always had some responsibility. Yes, an ordinary Joe at the end of the street, he could say something and probably get away with it because there was no harm factor in a way that millions of people were not going to hear it. So when when Andrew Tate says these kind of things, and he might say that, okay, look, he became popular because of saying those things. But it was a vicious cycle. So the more he said things like that, the more popular he became, and then he had to say it more, and then he had to become more popular. As a result, he became more popular. So you still have responsibility. I mean, our audience is nothing compared to what he got, but like we're constantly looking at what we're saying, because it's more than just me casually just making random jokes, which could be misinterpreted, or which could be seen by some young impressionable teenager.
The way I look at him, it's like, the story of the fairies in the forest. It's like there's a village where people are sick. A doctor is trying to get them to take medicine. They don't want to take it. So when you saw them, like, oh, there's a fairy in the forest that says you need to take this medicine, and now they all take it. I kind of see Tate as like the fairy in the forest. It's like he has bad beliefs and stuff, but a lot of these guys would not start working out, would not work on their finances, wouldn't work on themselves the way they do if it weren't for him.
I don't think so. I spoke to I go to my cricket club. There was this this kid. I think he's 21, working out, like he's massive. He wants to be a pro bodybuilder, twice my size. And it just randomly came up. Andrew Tate. He's like, "Oh, Harry, he's a top G, Harry. Nah, man, there's a matrix, So I went step by step, and I then sent him some of my shorts as well. And he's like, yeah, that's all stupid. Yeah, I don't agree with that. It was kind of like what you said, like I'm neutral. He's like, I said, but then he was saying, no, there's good things. Like I said, we've been. By the way, this guy had been working out for the last couple of years. I said, did you hear him? So I get it. Do you really need someone like?
That's a fallacy, Harris. That's anecdotal evidence.
No. I'm saying that. Do you need someone like Andrew Tate to tell you? And again, I spoke about belief clusters.
I think,
but anyway, I think we've already spoken about it. So you don't really need.
Wait, no. I want to respond to Vikram.
Just real quick, super quickly.
Wait. Hold on. Okay, so I don't think like the response to Vikram regarding people listening to Andrew Tate exercising more is to give up one example of somebody who was exercising before. I think the best response to Vikram is like, do you have any evidence for that? Do you have any to show that he's been responsible for people exercising more? Do you have any stats on that?
There's a YouTuber who's like, his shorts just popped on my YouTube, and like he was saying how like Andrew Tate convinced him to look into like.
But that's what Harris said. You just responded with one anecdotal evidence with your own anecdotal evidence. That's not statistics. That's not data. Do you have any data to show?
I'm the one going to make research on like.
Yeah, so then we can't claim that. So we can't claim that Andrew Tate has been responsible for people exercising more, given that we don't.
Yeah, but then we won't be able to claim that how many people are negatively impacted by him too, like the misogyny has spread. We won't be able to claim that as well.
Yeah, I don't claim that. I just look at his claims and I look at I just analyze them based on what they are.
I think we can draw a good comparison if we get like 1,000 people say that, hey, look, I changed because of you. Again, albeit I grant you that we don't know how real that is, because we're coming across. More and more evidence suggests that he has hired a lot of bots as well to tweet in his favor, to comment in his favor, but still his audience was pretty big at one stage. We know that the Hustlers University courses were heavily inflated; those numbers were heavily inflated. So yeah, I think you could be right that that's why we need to trust the system of statistics and data. Unless there is. But there was this statement given by the health minister. I'll finish my point. But there was this statement made by I think by Rishi Sunak in the Parliament, that the government of Great Britain or United Kingdom is putting in £2 billion to re-educate and eradicate misogyny, and he said that in response to some female parliamentarian in the UK, who said that, oh, look what Andrew Tate has done to our boys at school.
Yeah, and just by the way, Destiny's Child.
Hold on. Wait. Why you guys not? Okay, so I don't think our job is very easy, right? He makes a stupid claim. We look at the claim and we call it out for being stupid, right? And we don't have to, given that how idiotic his claims are, we don't have to make our jobs more difficult by making claims that we can't back up. Right. So I don't know exactly how much he's influencing people. It's possible that maybe a lot of his stupid fans were already stupid to begin with, and he hasn't made them any stupid. I don't know. I just look at what he's saying, and I'll tell you why it's idiotic. That's all I have to do. So There you go. Go on.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, Destiny's chat is watching. If you guys want to say hi.
Who's watching?
Destiny.
Oh, hi guys.
I emailed him. I emailed Destiny. I didn't hear back from him.
Yeah,
Alright,
if you want, I can just text him tomorrow.
Anyway, you can text him. Anyway, so I need to move. Yeah.
No, next point about.
Oh yes.
No,
Oh,
because,
yeah.
yeah. Go next point about. Yeah, go on. Next point about.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna make the argument that I don't know if you saw. There's a woman who made a video saying that Tate treated her well. That everything about what the media has been saying about Tate and all the other women and stuff are lying.
Again, anecdotal. Why are we making the same fallacy over and over again? Okay, if you were treated, let's assume that she's telling the truth. Okay, you being treated well. We have serial killers that treated other people well. Like
Ava Brown.
Say, like, hey, yeah,
if you ask Ava Brown,
oh, this man cannot be a serial killer. Look, he treated this other person very well.
If you ask Ava Brown how is Hitler, she would say he's an amazing man, the best man who ever lived.
You treating one person or a couple of people very well, that doesn't mean that you haven't treated a whole bunch of other people horribly. What?
Yeah,
dumbest argument. Do these arguments fly anywhere? Like, do people buy this?
Yeah, taters. They fly with taters.
He couldn't have done that. He treated me very well. You're an idiot.
But there is a strong reason to believe that she's one of those bottom bitches. No, top. What does he say? He calls them bottom bitches or top bitches? Bottom bitches. Yeah.
I know the
top bitches.
The Ghislaine Maxwell of what Tate.
Yeah. So no, that's an analogy like Ghislaine Maxwell. That so one of these Raducanu or whatever her name. Not Raducanu. She's a tennis player. So this Romanian chick, she used to do his dirty business. She used to approach women. He would lure women to these meetings, and then she would propose to them that, hey, you need to try cam business or whatnot. He says that himself, that you should never do that because it's always better coming from a woman. So one of his top bitches will do that, or bottom bitches, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway,
also, don't forget that we have such a thing called Stockholm syndrome. So we have a lot of people, like we even have women within ISIS who said that this is the best experience that they've ever had, like in Syria, living under war and being treated like slaves. They're like, oh, this is fantastic. If you want to be treated like a real woman, come here and live under ISIS. So yeah, you can't just use these as evidence.
So last story, then I want to move on from this. So, as I was saying, that how these people would just defend Andrew Tate just because he's their Muslim brother. There's another piece of propaganda that they've been spreading. Let me show you what Shaykh Sulaiman had to say about this. So, they've been parroting this narrative for some time now.
Shaykh Sulaiman is defending. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Shaykh Sulaiman. I have verified the authenticity of the messages. They are real. The timestamp issue was due to a glitch download issue, blah, blah, blah. If there were any if these screenshots, which I'm about to show you, if these were doctored, then fake times would have been created to stop any contention, but it wasn't. So basically, he's just pushing that there's screenshots that have confirmed that these women were lying.
Oh,
so
the women's...
one of his victims, two of his victims. So there was a transcript of their WhatsApp messages leaked to the press, and then they found this. Look at this. And what's the goal here? Well, it's to get a movie written about them, these victims of Andrew Tate. Hollywood signed these girls. Emma, we are writing a movie ASAP. Aliona, let's email Netflix ASAP. So this is it. Look at this. They only showed this little screenshot of the transcript. For sure, we have to. I'm dying inside. Let's email Netflix ASAP. Hulu, Amazon Prime. Okay. Also,
that's their evidence. Okay.
Also, Tam Khan. He's the guy who converted him to Islam. In
Dubai.
So he said, "You are a good actress. Let's email Netflix. Evil, ruin people's lives for money, clout, and attention. They should be jailed and exposed by all the world's media." So what are those messages? What they showed? They showed this. Aliana saying, "You are a good actress. True. I practice. Perfecto. Aliana, just play it cool. Got it." This one will actually give away something, but they didn't pay any attention to it. Like, you don't know. Play dumb. I'm going to pull some tears. You know, these are his victims saying, so you can clearly see the kind of picture they're painting here. I'm going to pull some tears and play dumb. Good advice. Thank you, babe. The other one says, for sure, we have to. I'm dying inside. Let's email Netflix, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they started parroting this narrative that, hey, look, these two girls hatched this plan to entrap Andrew Tate. And we, for a moment when I looked at it, I was like, ooh, this looks pretty bad. But I knew that I can see that. Why would they only show this? Why can't I see the whole context? So I held back. I was about to tweet about it, but I said, oh, let's hold back for a little bit. So do you want to see what actually was a transcript? Let me show you the actual transcript. Oh, geez, where is it? Oh, hang on. Sorry, give me a sec. Man, I thought I had downloaded it.
Tell us, I'm dying to know what the hell is that.
No, you're gonna love it. No, because it's in 4K because it's pretty big, so I had to download it properly. Okay. Yeah.
By the way,
all right.
Okay,
No, I'm ready. Where's share screen button? There it is. Okay, let's have a look. Oh.
Whoa. How did he get this?
No. So it's been leaked. Okay, so good advice. Thank you, babe. How far is food? Are you as hungry as me? We will talk more tonight. And the prize for best actress is going to Emma. Yeah, I'm starving. I can't. So again, like, oh, and the prize for best actress. So obviously they're talking about acting and but it'll tell you what they're actually talking about. I can't see through because the app is not showing. Image omitted. I need to work a bit. Like to post some TikToks. A golden Oscar now, please. F. LMAO. What time will you have to do that? Once I get famous and rich, I will make sure I get one for you. But I'm just wondering how late we can stay up. Can't wait to watch you all in the movies. You're already famous in my eyes. We will see how we do it later. This is again like they showed this one. Just being a badass. Where was this?
What's the point of the message? Like, what are they trying to
I'll show
give
you.
us?
I'm just trying to find because I actually read it before. So let me. So yeah, there it is. Okay. So thank you. I'm sure we can get out. Thank you. I'm sure we can do this. Get out of this fucking mess. Okay. What are they talking about? This mess. So they're trying to get out of here. That's what they're trying to act. But if we can make them believe we are in love, they will either not suspect us of leaving whatsoever, or if they find out we do, they eventually will. They won't chase. So they're trying to get out of there. They're acting to leave on good terms. They will believe we are coming back, or at least try to come back, that we are obsessed with them. So we're gonna pretend to be in love with them, so they'll let us go. They're hatching a plan to get out of there, get out of this mess.
Oh,
that's what they're trying to do. So they're not trying to aggravate the people who are holding.
This is
hostage.
worse. This makes it actually incriminates them.
Yes,
this doesn't.
yes. Yeah.
So they're like they can't leave. They're trying to act so that they are allowed to leave.
Yes.
So they're not. So they're being held against their will. So the evidence that these Muslims are giving to try to make Tate look good, it actually shows that he's holding them hostage.
Yes.
They're trying to act their way out so that they let them go so they come back.
They don't want to.
Jesus Christ, this makes it a lot worse.
They don't want to antagonize.
Oh, wow. So there's such a threat that they have to act so that they don't antagonize them.
Yeah, I told
that's
you
really bad. That's just bad.
Yeah, but look at this. But look at this. This is what they showed. But they only showed this. This is what I'm talking about. Shaykh Sulaiman and this Tam Khan guy. They only showed this bit. They didn't show this bit.
No.
So anyway, so they're saying, yeah, I told you to be like saying a nice message and that we are heard of shit like that and that we do love them, but just don't like the situation. So they're just basically trying to find excuses. How are we going to convince them to let us go? We're going to tell them, hey, look, we love you. We're in love with you. We're obsessed with you. We really like you, but we're just not happy with the situation. Can you let us go, please? This is what they're saying. And look what they're asking. So they will not think that we are really against them, you know? And by against, obviously, it means like we want to get out of this mess. Again, go back to this. Get out of this fucking mess. Yeah, that's smart. Play the victim. I mean, we are. She does say, I mean, we are victims, but like, yeah, act like we still love them and stuff. So you got to act like you love them, otherwise they'll get antagonized. They will say they'll beat them up or whatnot. Haha, I mean, we are alone. She does quote it, but again, like, you got to understand that these women also don't know exactly what has happened to them. If they are scared, if you think, especially if you're in a sex industry, if you think that if I say that I'm going to leave and the other party might get upset, then it means you're held hostage. If I go to Armin's house, I'm not going to be afraid to say, hey, Armin, all right, man, nice seeing you. I'm going to go home now. If I'm scared to say that to Armin, then it means that, like I'm being held against my will. Would you agree with that? This is pretty simple.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Incriminating.
Yeah, that's really bad. I mean, if it's, I don't know where this comes from, but yeah, if it's true, it's just really bad.
I like, Vikram, I'm proud of you. You like how being like, if this is true, no. He's been like that. Like you're
skeptic.
being.
I'm a skeptic, guys.
Good. I like.
Well,
that.
we know it is real because the people on Andrew Tate's side, they themselves had said that this is real. These transcripts are real. so Shaykh Sulaiman himself has said that, yeah, this is real. Look at this. Tam Khan himself has said that this is real. Where is it? Look, he's saying, I have verified the authenticity of the messages, albeit I'm only going to show you the bit that suits me. But the timestamp issue was due to glitch, blah, 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 whatever. And
do you think he's being like the fact that he's selecting only a part of it? Do you think he's just being stupid, or he's being purposefully selective? Like he's lying. So he's knowingly like. Wouldn't that be a sin? Like he's knowingly lying to his audience.
Taqiyya. What are they? This is what I was thinking initially. See, I mean, how good-natured we are. We initially take people at face value. I was thinking, okay, maybe he's blinded by the fact that this is my Muslim brother, so I'm going to support him, come what may. But this is clear deception.
See, this is what I was saying. Like, you're not being tribal. You're actually trying to know what you don't. It's not about them being Muslim or ex-Muslim. You just want to see what actually is the truth, right?
I get it. But I'm saying, look at it. But now, for example, he just made the excuse that, oh, look, so what if he told you I'm going to pay you 50%, but he's only paying you 30%? So what? You're still making a lot of money. You're making way more money than you would have made if you were flipping burgers at McDonald's. And now he deliberately shows the bit which paints them as bad people, or as someone who's orchestrated this whole plan to entrap the Tate brothers. But he could have shown the whole transcript, but he knew that the whole transcript is not going to make his case look good. So he said, you know what, screw this. And same goes for this Tam Khan guy as well. He's also saying that, look, he's highlighting that part. You're a good actress. True. I practice perfecto. Just play it cool. And then he's saying, let's email Netflix. Evil. Ruin people's lives for money, clout, and attention. Why are you not showing the rest of it, bro?
Keep it there. No, keep it there. Because think about this. Like, look at that, right? They're calling these girls evil. But now think about it in context, what this actually could be meaning. These girls are acting because they are trying to save themselves. They are in a distressful situation. They are in distress. They're being taken hostage. These people can be antagonized if they want to. They don't have freedom of mobility. They just want to get out of there, and they're desperately trying to act their way out of there. So imagine the context of what's happening here, and them calling these girls evil. The actual evil person here is the person you're trying to defend. That these girls have to go through all these acting just to be able to get out of there. Yeah, exactly. It's evil. It's Tate who's evil.
Yeah. Let me read some other juicy bits from that as well, because I think it's important. By the way, I'll put that in my community tab. You can read that. So I don't have to play. Yeah, didn't we decide on that? Yeah, I completely forgot about it. Silly me. But yeah, the thing, it's just that I didn't go live yesterday. Okay, fuck it, we're leaving tomorrow. So now that it seems excited, okay, fuck it, we're leaving tomorrow. But fuck it, yeah, who cares if they get mad? Fuck them and fuck this place. So they're obviously sick of that, but also at the same time. So this is not something that you could say that a lot of that this is a reason why there's a separate child for a lover boy method. A lot of these times, these women are also confused. They're conflicted. Sorry, you want me to bring it up? Okay, sorry.
And,
Yeah, like,
just to clarify, I got a link from like the Destiny's chat, and yeah, it's real. It's all real. It's not fake.
Look, it says it right under it. Don't even stress, babe. Like they put them under stress. Like they have to convince each other that it's okay. Like
It's okay,
the stress, because the stress is being used as a weapon to keep them there, right?
Yeah.
And that's why for them to be able to get out of there, they have to calm each other down. It's going to be okay. Don't stress about it.
They're obviously concerned. No, the reason why we're emphasizing on that is because, you know, these taters were so freaking stupid. They're going to say, oh, look at this, just take it off. They're also laughing emojis. They're laughing. They're saying F. They're joking around too. Obviously, it's a combination of everything. And yeah, that's a very good point. It says,
don't even stress it.
Don't stress about it. Just pretend it's another day. You're just tired. So they're trying to, what's the word that you use? Yeah, they're trying to calm each other down. So it's just, it looks bad. But that shows the deception of people like Shaykh Sulaiman, Tam Khan, and all these taters. But there was another news story, but I will talk about it next week, where Andrew Tate has actually started throwing his one of the top bitches. Forgot her name, the Romanian woman. He has kind of thrown her under the bus because now they're cross-examining. They're getting a statement. They isolate these people. They're getting an embasement statement from Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, and these two girls, his accomplices. Now, obviously, that's where when you're in isolation, you start throwing each other under the bus. And that's what's happening with him. He's saying that I never dealt with one of these Moldovan chicks. So Moldovan girl has accused him of rape. American woman has accused, she's the one who was responsible behind their raid in April last year at his house because she was held against her will, according to her, and her mum called in. So he's claiming that he never dealt with the Moldovan woman. Moldovan woman was hired and recruited by this Romanian woman. So he's basically saying that I have nothing to do with whatever she was doing. So, but we'll talk about it more next week when we have the full news story.
Okay, let's do that. By the way, guys, this whole Andrew Tate debacle, it's a great excuse for us to compare values, also show how we look into research, find each other's fallacies, find out the arguments that people make, look at, highlights of tribalism. So it's not, I know we're talking about Andrew Tate a lot here, but it's not, Andrew Tate is just an excuse for us to basically demonstrate a whole bunch of other things, right? It goes beyond just Andrew Tate. Whenever you have a famous person, being talked about in the same, on the same topics that we talk about when it comes to free speech, when it comes to religion, when it comes to tribalism and stuff like that, then that celebrity we use that person as a tool because to get to talk about something that's getting a lot of attention, to just highlight a whole bunch of other things. Because if you just mention these things without using a news item like this, it's less likely that people would be interested in consuming that content. So it's just an excuse for us to talk about the same things that we talk about before.
But it is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, that's my point, because it makes it more interesting, but we're making the same points, but in a more interesting way.
What do you think about your? So, do you still want to get your daily motivational advice from Andrew Tate, Vikram?
Yeah, no, probably not. It's interesting because I had a conversation with Destiny on this exact thing because I brought up the argument on like how he's basically like a necessary evil for young men to have because in the end, whether you like it or not, teenage boys who are rebellious, they need an asshole to look up to. They need someone who's it's like Jordan Peterson kind of played that role back in the day. Now
right.
It's
Well, yeah, they do need an asshole, right? So what we need, this is the good thing about one good thing about Andrew Tate is it shows how big of a failure the left has been in providing a role model, right? So, and it has made whole bunch of people woke up that, okay, we need to be stop being so anti-men, because being anti-men has made us not have actually good leftist role models, right? So, we need positive masculinity. We need to encourage positive masculinity instead of treating all forms of masculinity as if they're toxic, right? And I do recognize that part of one thing that is attributed with being masculine is being tough and aggressive, and as you describe it, Vikram, being an asshole to certain people.
Hairy chest.
But there's enough evil out there in the world for you to be an asshole too and look tough. You could be an asshole to Nazis or to racists or to misogynists or to homophobes. So you could like unleash all your assholeness to all the people that require aggression against. And then people could admire that. I know a lot of young people admire that level of aggression and see somebody tough like that as somebody to follow. But I'm not saying to just remove that aggression. I'm just saying like we need a role model that is directing that aggression towards something that is worth being against, rather than against women or trans people or gay people.
Yeah,
that's the issue though, because when we think of people who could replace him, as much as he's being criticized, no one has really provided an alternative that goes as viral and shares like better message.
Yeah, well, now that it will take some. So one reason why I think we haven't had an alternative among leftists is because just manhood as a whole has been under attack on the left for a while now, right? But now that because of Andrew Tate, we're now seeing that there's a gap, there's a demand that is not being supplied. I think now that the attacks on men on the left is being reduced, I think we're opening the market for content providers to come fill up that space. So I think it's not going to happen immediately, but I think now that a less hostility towards masculinity in the left is going to open the space towards that being eventually,
I always believe
that alternative being created. Go on.
I always believe that the happy medium would be found eventually. This wokeism is not sustainable. Like this, blame everything on patriarchy. Just blame everything. Yes, we get it. There's a lot of good points to be made here, but that doesn't mean that you just blame everything on patriarchy. And anytime a man says something, you start screaming in his face and start discrediting him. It just doesn't work that way. And and then you create for how long? Andrew Tate is a newer phenomena. Red pill crowd started getting famous but popular when 2014, 15. I mean, we've been talking about it for a very long time that the leftists have people who shut down critique of Islam, for example. That's going to be bad. You're going to have you're going to have bad consequence of it. And you do see that. And now we do see that people are coming out in support of ex-Muslims somewhat. We don't get pushed back as much as, for example, Ayana Hassieline back in her day was pushed back. I know some of her ideas are a bit wacky too, but a lot of people
gone down really straight.
Yeah, I haven't heard her for a while now, but I'm just saying even
really,
back in the day.
Vikram, bring up some crazy things that Ayan is saying.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm basing on I haven't paid attention to her in
okay, next
years.
up. Okay, but if you find anything, let us know. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, we go on.
No, I was the topic I was gonna bring up earlier was I was gonna say it when you interrupted me. Just completely went out of my head. Just go ahead. I'll think about it for a second.
Okay, I want to highlight two comments. First of all, Harris, you got a super chat saying when he becomes X, they will eat him alive. That would be interesting to see if Tate becomes.
But we won't be defending him for his criminal actions. We won't be defending him.
Exactly.
We would stand by that. What he has done. He's been manipulative. He's been a misogynist. He's been a sex trafficker. He's been a dodgy, shady character. He's broken a few laws here and there. We would still not be defending him.
No, we won't. But
I remember about the way what I was going to ask. Sorry.
Okay, wait. Let me highlight this comment. Bastet is saying there's nothing wrong with being a man. Well, thank you for. I appreciate you allowing us to be men, but men don't have the right to dominate and control women unless
she wants
the woman enjoy being dominated and controlled. Then
you want it, baby girl.
Okay, maybe there are a lot of women that enjoy being controlled and dominated.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
All right. Okay, go on, Vikram.
I had in mind went away again. I was gonna ask about. I was gonna ask. So, during that conversation I brought up with Destiny, so we debated one topic that I think he disagrees with me on. It's that the problem is that a lot of left-wing people don't realize that women do value masculinity in men. Like, if you encourage men to become more feminine, it's good. But on one side effect is that you're gonna have, like, it's gonna be harder for them to get laid. And I just wanted to know what you guys think about it.
If they become more
gets hard?
feminine,
If you become more
It's like-
feminine, it becomes
Yeah,
more
not
difficult for you to
extreme
get.
masculinity, but up to a point, being more masculine is seen as an attractive trait.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
That's
but
why we
yeah.
want. We
Yeah.
defend. We defend masculinity. We defend positive masculinity.
No woman
Yeah.
wants a feminine man.
No, wait. Some women do actually.
Maybe a little, but that's not the way of the majority.
Yeah,
I don't-
agree.
I don't know
run
the
into a
stats.
woman. I've never run into a woman who would say that. Oh, I would have preferred if you were a bit more feminine.
Well, I mean, no. Actually, there are a lot of young girls right now who enjoy. I don't know if you could call it feminine, but
they're lesbians.
no. I'm talking about teenagers who like BTS type boys.
What kind of boys?
Oh, the
BTS.
BTS type.
What's that type? I don't even know what that is.
You know Harry Styles?
Oh, Harry Styles. Oh, right. Okay. All right.
That's
Cool.
another
Like
example.
metrosexual.
Yeah.
kind of boys. Yeah.
Like, hold on.
That's
You
the
don't know
example
what
Destiny
BTS
brought up.
is?
No,
How
I
do you
know
not
that.
know that? Okay.
I don't consume that kind of content. Okay, I'm a bit old fashioned.
Okay, more like this type of boys.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, like boy bands. Yeah.
No, not boy bands. Not any kind of boy bands. Like this.
Oh,
Like this. Okay.
is that why
And this
K-pop is very popular?
No, K-pop, exactly. That so you okay, K-pop, right? So they're look. So I actually just recently there were two girls that were arguing over this with each other. So one of them was saying, "I like masculine, I like hairy," and the other girl was like, "No, that's dirty, that's barbaric. I like clean, I like a little bit of makeup, I like a more skinny, men that look like." Young boys, with like earrings and
The half lesbian.
colored
They
hair.
don't know it.
No. It's not. They're not lesbians. They
joking.
know they like boys. They like men, but they like. And if you ask them why do you like that more, they're like it's just more clean. It looks more pretty. It looks more cute. And there's a lot of women that like that. There's a lot of women that like that. That don't like the masculine look.
Is there a study? Are there stats?
Well, yeah, I mean, among young, there's a lot of young. It gets, but based on stats, it seems like what it shows is that it gets less like that as they get older, right? But some of them stay like that, yeah, as they grow up, right?
They know a real man is a real man.
But still, some of them still no, they're real men. Okay, look, no, guys,
I'm joking.
I know you're joking. I'm clarifying for people who might think that you're a. Okay,
Good.
This is a real man. Okay, it might not like, it
Doesn't look
might
like
not be a
one, but yeah,
masculine man. It might not be a masculine man, but it's a real man, and different
sure?
people have different tastes.
The girl in the white jacket,
What?
was that a man? The girl in the white jacket? This one?
Yeah, these are men.
Oh, okay. Wrong.
These are all men. What the hell?
No, I know most of them, but this one, the one that you highlighted, that he looks a bit tomboy-ish.
Okay, these are men, and different
they're
women
men.
have different tastes, and
like
that's okay. Yes.
Yeah, but I think that was popularized back in the Justin Bieber days because a lot of men couldn't understand why are girls so crazy over him. But then you look at them, they were also 15, 16-year-old girls. So, of course, they're not going to like a 40-year-old masculine man with big freaking beard and he's got, beard dripping down his facial hair. They're not going to like that guy.
No. But even like, okay, so even boys that age, like, for example, let's say you're 16 or 17 or 18. Like the girl I was talking to, she was 18, right? That liked that kind of man, right? And she had a friend that was younger than her, and she preferred masculine, aggressive, men, right? So more people that had more masculine features, right? So the 18-year-old girl liked K-pop type boys, and the 16-year-old girl was she saying like no, she likes like a little bit of stubble, a little bit of hair on the chest, a little bit of muscle, a little bit of aggression. So even though the older girl seemed to be liking more feminine type guys, right? So I'm just saying, what I'm trying to avoid doing is having general statements, right? So it's like women like, I think whatever comes after that is wrong. When you say women like masculine men, that is wrong. Women are different, just like men are different. Women are different from each other. Women,
Yeah, but
we need to
it
treat
says
people
51.
like individual.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it
No,
says
but
51.
that's like
No,
the
we
majority behave a certain way, right? It's like, I mean,
Yeah,
same with men.
we could say majority or a lot of. We could say, but we shouldn't say make general statements like women like masculine men. Like maybe say a lot of women. You could say most women, but don't just say women like this, because women have.
Isn't that implied if I say women?
It
tend
is
to-
implied. I think, yeah.
I don't
I
think I'm
think-
saying every woman.
I think
on earth.
given, yeah, maybe you don't mean it, but given that we live in a world where people believe such general terms, it helps for us to be more accurate about the way we talk.
Because, for example, I mean, do you agree that typically most women tend to be submissive in bed?
Most women, yes. So a lot of women are dominant in bed, but on average, the women who are submissive are higher than the women who are dominant.
Yeah,
But
and I had a
by most,
conversation-
but again, by most, we're not talking like, I don't know what percentage we're talking about. There are enough women who are dominant for us to not pre-assume that somebody is submissive because they're a woman.
you know who
No, this guy
Alex
is a troll. But let them alone.
Okay, yeah.
This guy is like, I know this guy is trying to type everything that gets our attention. So it's like trying. Well, don't pay attention to that. Like
I thought that might give us good content.
Oh yeah, okay, sure. Use it. Okay. No, but he's trying to, like, that person is just trying to go through anything they say to just get our attention. I know the method.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah, I was
give me
gonna
something
say-
better to talk about. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry.
Vikram, go on.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah. So I talked to Armin Alex of Playing with Fire, right? We debated him. He says that the dominant women he met are actually submissive in bed with him. It's just that they can, like, if they have to be dominant in bed, they could do it. But what they really value, what they really like, it's being submissive. Again, in bed, not like, yeah.
But that's his personal experiences. That's not statistics.
Yeah, but there's never going to be a statistics on that, right? Like, you have
is.
to
No, there are.
from experience.
No, but it's not going to be accurate. Like, he lives in Vancouver and he's talking about a sample size, a very biased sample size that is not even statistically significant.
Yeah,
And there are
but
stats on this.
No,
Well, yeah.
no,
What are you
I
going to
mean,
do? You're going to
no,
make
'cause
me.
you couldn't
you
do
get-
that. Like, how are you? Like, you're not going to investigate.
Okay, then say
really,
if you can't investigate, then just say I don't know. Don't come up with conclusions based on personal experiences.
But by then we can never like believe anything until like there
No,
are very few things in life we could believe, right? Like then we wouldn't be atheists; we'd be fully agnostic. Like
No, wait. You don't even know what atheism means. Atheism is a lack of belief in God. It's not a positive claim. We are atheists because we lack belief in God. We're not making a positive claim about God.
no, but I mean we at least the three of us, I'm guessing, we tend to lean towards God not existing, right? We're not like perfect agnostic.
Yeah, because there are infinite number of unfalsifiable hypotheses that you make. Therefore, you're just statistically the chances of each one of them is 1 over infinity, which is close to 0. So
yeah,
we are close. Yeah, but that's not because we have found, especially towards a theistic God, we haven't made a positive claim. We just said like this is just like another infinite number of claims that you can make without evidence. So the likelihood of it existing is 1 over infinity. But you have to do that. You have to if you don't have evidence, you can't make. You could come up with guesses, but you have to mention that it's a guess that you don't know.
no. Okay,
You
but
could
all
you could
need to
apply
do when
Occam's.
you-
Okay,
Yeah.
I've got some
Make
statistics.
assumptions.
Okay, I've got.
No, wait.
I've got some
I want to finish this before we see statistics. I want to finish this line of reasoning. But go on, Vikram.
No, like because it seems kind of insane to be honest. If think of like a regular human being, like who has to base every decision he makes, every belief he holds on on research on everything, because you cannot live that way.
I
Like, you
didn't
have to
say
make
that.
assumptions,
We make when we don't have evidence, we apply Occam's razor on things, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, if you come and tell me that that restaurant was, great, okay, I'm not going to claim that this is 100% true. Like, let's say 5 people tell me that they had a great experience at this restaurant, okay? So I don't have definite proof that that's the case, but the likelihood of it, when I make decisions on my day-to-day life, I don't look for evidence for everything. I just apply probability based on the last five person that told me something. The likelihood of this restaurant having bad food is very low, so I'm going to go eat there, right? But then when it comes to more important decisions in my life, I'm going to require more evidence. I'm not going to apply Occam's razor. I want to see actual proof. For example, if somebody comes to me, like my mother has cancer, and they come to me and tell me, like, actually the treatment that the doctors are telling you doesn't work. Go to this guru, and she's gonna treat your mother. I'm gonna okay, I'm not gonna apply. I'm gonna actually require a much higher degree of a rigorous standard when it comes to verifying whether this claim is true or not, right? So again, for example, let's say in Vancouver you have had personal experiences over women who have said that they're dominant, right? But you had sexual experiences with them and they ended up being submissive, right? You might come up with a hypothesis, not even a theory, a hypothesis, that this seems to be true about, the woman I'm meeting in my life, right? And then you could make a decision based on the likelihood of this being, you can make the personal decisions for your life based on this likelihood of this claim being increased in your personal life. But then when you take that and now you're making a general claim about women, you're stepping outside of what Occam's razor can do to you for you when it comes to making, the cost of you coming up with a general conclusions for all women based on a very limited information, based on a very limited data that you have collected. The cost of that, and pre-assuming things about women, now the cost of that is higher than the benefits that you're making from the outcomes, from the assumption that you're having. When it comes to, from that restaurant, let's say that my assumptions were wrong, right? 5 people told me that the food in this restaurant is good, so I assumed it's good. It's a safe bet to make, and I went there and the food was bad. What is the cost for that? So, because the cost of that is very low, that assumption it's safe for me to make that assumption because I had a bad meal, right? But when it comes to making general claims about women, that the cost of that being wrong based on very limited information is high, because now you're stereotyping and half of the population based on very limited information, and people are going to make a lot of important decisions in their life based on having this assumption about women being submissive in their life. So when it comes to generalizing half the population, you have to be a lot more demanding over what information, what kind of evidence you're using to be able to come up with conclusions like that. So when the cost of being wrong is higher, the standard of evidence that you're looking for needs to be higher.
Yeah.
Okay, Harris.
Yeah. No, you just demolished my point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so no, I agree with Armin. I think the cost is really high, and even at a personal level, there is a bit of a cost, because Andrew Tate comes across as this guy, and like the kind of communication that I've seen of people like Andrew Tate, his fanboys, they refer to women as bitches, hoes, all that kind of thing. I'm telling you, that would never really, really flow. If you're trying to get a girl, that is not going to go down well. It just won't. There's so many other ways of impressing a girl. Smile. The first and foremost thing is to make her feel comfortable. Yeah, you can do it with your humor. You can do it with the way you talk and everything. But there would, even if you drop this off, I don't know. It's never. Not that I ever tried it, but I can't see it ever working. But the kind of picture that people like Andrew Tate create, that, oh yeah, this is how women are, and then you go out there in the real world and you try it, it's not going to work, and it's going to hurt you even more. There's a reason why there's a lot of incel boys are actually his fanboys. I know the young men. I was also a 20-year-old, like at one point. I also used to look at in my time. I used to look up to Johnny Depp and Brad Pitt, or a couple of Bollywood actors. But I know young men always need a role model. But this is why we keep saying this guy is not that. But anyway, forget about him. He's gone. He's gone for the next 20 years or so. But to answer your question, are women more submissive or dominant in general? So there's a study, YouGov America.
Yeah, we have studies then.
It's a survey, so I don't know.
It's a survey. You can never read someone's mind, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
no,
but
there are
it's
ways. Okay.
yeah, there's still some good information in there. So the first question is actually very interesting. Do you think it is, or is it not possible for a woman to be a feminist and to want to be sexually dominated by a man? I've actually met with a lot of women who said that it's okay for me to be feminist, and I say, yeah, that's good. You should be a feminist. You should speak, because when I talk about it, I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so and then in bed they'd be like, yeah, that's okay, forget about it. I've left my feminism at door. But again, this is a very small sample size. Okay, in my case, it's very small. In Armin's case, might be a bit bigger. But anyway, so
most women are dated or feminists, but in bed, it's a sexual thing. In bed, they are submissive. The ones are dated.
It's okay, but again, we're not gonna make a generalized statement, because we've got the survey in front of it. So we'll just talk about that. So it's 60% of women, they're saying no, it is possible. So majority of women are thinking it's okay for me to be a feminist and be submissive in bed. It's okay. There's 11% it is not. They're saying nope, I'm a feminist and I can't be dominated. So again, you can see there's a clear, this is a minority. But anyway, 29%, I think they are definitely submissive, because they don't even know. If you don't even know what your preference is, then maybe you are like, okay, maybe I need to have the traditional gender roles or whatnot. Not that I support it, but anyway. Okay, so dominance and submission. This might more clearer. Do you prefer to be dominant or submissive in bed? 18% of men said they want to be dominant. Now, these are obviously expressive people. They say no, that they don't apologize, they don't make any excuses for it. They say how it is, or they say how they see it. 18% of men say we do, but only 4% of women say they do. They're dominant. 10% of men, so there's a minority of men say that they're submissive, and majority of women say they're submissive. Neither, I think they're probably just. I would have thought that.
Could you be neither, right? So.
Neither. They're saying, "Oh, we have no preference. We just get on with it and bang bang." But we are both. Now that these are a bit more adventurous people, and again, don't know. Again, you look at it. Women are saying, "I don't know more than men are saying that," because I think again, I would put them. They're more likely going to fall in this category. So I think it's safe to assume it wouldn't be a bad statement, Vikram, what you originally made, but if you just tweaked it a little bit, that it seems like majority of women prefer submissiveness in bed. What do you reckon, Armin? Would that be closer to accurate?
Well, I asked ChatGPT. Okay. So I asked, are there any studies that show women are more submissive in sex? Keep it short. I told it to keep it
Look who's telling ChatGPT off.
The ChatGPT is saying there is no scientific evidence to support the claim that women are inherently more submissive in sexual situations. Sexual preferences and behavior vary widely among individuals and are shaped by complex interplay of biological, psychological, and socio-cultural factors. Any generalization about the sexual behavior of a particular gender is not supported by scientific evidence and can be harmful and premature harmful stereotypes. Okay, ChatGPT, you're an idiot, because I said
it's politically correct.
Yeah, because look at the question. ChatGPT doesn't understand what it means about more submissive. More submissive doesn't mean
that you need to beat
all
them
of
up.
them are submissive.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
The question is not whether every single one of them is more submissive. The question is about in general are they okay? Maybe I should have said that. Maybe I should have said that. On average, are more submissive.
No, but I'm just saying. I think this answer is still not clear. You know why? So even if something is shaped by socio-cultural factors or psychological factors, and then we observe this phenomena, let's just say amongst our community, our global society, and then we see, okay, women tend to be more submissive, then that would still be scientific. That would be a scientific evidence.
Okay, ChatGPT is stupid. It doesn't understand what averages mean. I meant on average. It's like, and then it's saying even when looking at averages, it is not accurate or ethical to make broad generalizations. Hey, ChatGPT, on average means not broad generalization. on average means that we're not making broad generalization. We're talking about average. Does ChatGPT not understand what averages mean? Like, you talk about averages to avoid making generalizations. What the hell? This is too politically correct, guys. Sexual preferences and behaviors are highly individualized. Yes, I know. That's why we're talking about averages, you moron. And also, it's highly unethical. What if it's true? We have to avoid facts? Like, avoiding facts would be unethical? This is too PC, man.
Yeah,
This is
politically
too
correct,
woke.
I tell you.
Yeah, Alex was telling me that he ChatGPT like gives good advice on a bunch of stuff, but it's way too blue pilled. Like it's way too on the blue pill side.
Yeah, it's blue pilled. I think. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my god, this is.
You gotta be no pill.
I asked the same question, but anyway, we do have the data. But anyway, I asked you, Armin. So what do you think? So would that be a fairer? The study that I shared with you, or the survey that I shared with you.
That was an online poll, right? So it wasn't a scientific poll. It was a scientific.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's a survey.
So this would make it a hypothesis that is likely true. I would say because of these surveys, I am more inclined to believe that women are average or more submissive. But it's a hypothesis that I will hold on loosely, and I will let go of it as soon as I can, as soon as I see anything that is a more scientifically gathered data information. You know, because online polls are not very reliable. They're enough to make you, if you had to guess, to more likely guess within, in a certain direction. But you hold that position, you hold that opinion with a higher degree of skepticism. The better the data is, the less skeptical you're going to be about the conclusions that you're making.
Right. But let me, for poll results can be found here, and top line results in margin of error here. It's a poll. I don't know the methodology. Okay, fair enough. It's YouGov. I don't know. What's the methodology?
It's just an online poll, so.
Is it an online poll? Are you sure? Is it an online?
Well, I mean, that's what you said. I asked, and you said yes.
No, I didn't say that. I don't know whether just an.
It doesn't look like a peer-reviewed academic research.
No, it's not a peer-reviewed. No, but it's a survey.
So it's not, I don't know. Is it like by an institution that is known for conducting surveys?
Yeah, research conducted by YouGov in the US, UK, and Germany shows that Americans 13% and Brits.
Okay, YouGov. Okay, well then we have to look at YouGov.
YouGov America,
YouGov America to see who are they? This is how it's done. You have to go check out.
In the United States, younger people are far more likely to say that they have taken part in BDSM, and to say that they would want to take part in it in the future. 23% of under 30s have taken part in it. To say they've taken part in it, it's like, why don't you just wake up and just do it? Taking part in it, like there's a lot of planning involved. Okay.
So YouGov is a British international internet-based market research and data analytics firm. Okay, that makes them somewhat more credible. Headquarters in the UK with operations in Europe, North America, the Middle East, Asia. Okay. History. Yeah, I think this is a serious data data.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so now my degree of so now my skepticism is not going to ever go to zero, but it goes down a little bit based on I see it's not just a random online poll. It seems to be more serious. Okay, but again, this is how you do it. Now you could go read them, see if there's any oh look, they have a methodology section, and you could now click on the reference to the methodology. So, but this is how you see Vikram, you have tools to better than your anecdotal personal life experiences to come up with conclusions like this. You look at an online poll, then you go look at who's doing the poll. You see them. You could go read their methodology, right? You could see the references to the methodology. You could see if there's anybody that criticized the it's here. See, you could go read the allegations of poll manipulations, and then you could go look at the references to who's making these poll allegations, and that's how you conduct That's how you come up with better conclusions, rather than like, oh, I had sex with 10 women and 4 of them told me that they're dominant, but then when I had sex with them, they ended up being actually submissive, and that's how I come up with conclusions. There's a better methodology to come up with these.
No, fair enough. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing I can say.
Okay.
That right winger guy, what's his name? That British. Let me show his.
There's a lot of right.
Oh man, I can't remember that guy's name.
Guys, we're getting so long. The show is getting long.
Yeah,
so
okay, yeah. I think we need to wrap this up anyway. Yeah.
Vikram, make your final
say about dominant and submissive. One of the things a lot of people don't realize is that technically the person who's submissive is the one who controls the interaction.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize this. Like, being dominant doesn't mean you're the leader. Technically speaking, it's the submissive person who sets up the how it's going to work,
Exactly. The sub is in control. Is in control. All right. That's a good point. Let's end it.
That's actually a very good point. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never thought it that way. Like, imagine like you. No, I'm not going to say it publicly. Okay, that's fine. Good.
No, there's always basically the dom and the sub. They're always playing a character. The dom acts like he's in control because the dom is trying to please the sub by creating role playing as if he's in control. The sub enjoys seeing the dom is in control, but the sub is actually always in control. But you have the trick is to make it not look like she's in control while making sure you give her all the control.
No, not necessarily. I think it just works the way I guess the person who's the person who's controlling the conversation could also be. I don't know. I'm not comfortable using my.
All right, let's end this here before
all right,
we get in
let's
trouble.
end it here. Yeah, let's end it here. All right, people. Thank you very much. We'll see you next
Like
Sunday.
and subscribe. Leave a comment. Support us on Patreon or on YouTube membership. Link in the description. And let people know. Share this video and let people ask them to come and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you next week. And thank you, Vikram, for your support.
Thank you, Vikram.
Bye.